Hello and welcome to a Streamteam Reacts. I am very, very excited to be here with you guys. I am especially excited to be reviewing this video because this video is bad. This video is something special. Anyway, allow me to bring in my guests, starting, of course, with the talent, the self-proclaimed talent himself, Mr. Tarek.
Here's to the bard and the pollen we plumb. Here's to the beast and the rest of you scum. The cage is locked in and the town is aflame, and it's ours for the taking, though you get the fame.
My talent is objectively the best on this fucking show, and don't you fucking forget it.
I didn't say you were wrong. I just said that you're the self-proclaimed talent.
You admitted to it in the back room.
I admit that you're the talent. I admit that you're the talent. You've just proclaimed yourself the talent. You have also proclaimed yourself the talent.
So it's objective.
Obviously.
You're not giving me anything to work with here, Dunn. Bring in the next sucker.
So he's an idiot.
Yeah.
Why do you use that shitty clip from Justice League for your intro?
Because he's an idiot. Didn't you hear the clip?
Because I think it's cool.
Also, do I not have any talent here? Or are we just saying Tarek is top tier talent?
He's proclaimed himself the talent, and therefore he is the talent.
I proclaim myself as such, therefore I am.
Listen, I yell like a fucking what was their name? That guy with the glasses commentator. Clearly, I am the biggest talent here.
Yeah. Yeah. And allow me to bring in our next guy, and we're probably going to be saying a lot to HiTop, so I feel it's appropriate.
Sit down and shut the fuck up!
Yeah, that's appropriate, all right. I mean, I don't cuss a lot, but when I do, yeah, it's usually because I'm frustrated or the video game's cheating. One or the other.
I haven't used that excuse since, like, what, 97? I was 4 at the time?
What, so you're a boomer? Oh my gosh, no one told me that.
Why do you think I'm so talented?
Oh, that's true.
Millennials can't be funny.
Yeah, that's true. It's why I don't try.
Ready for a 48 minutes edit video where Mr. HiTop proclaims from the rooftops that Batman Forever is a good movie?
Oh, yes, my scrotum is tingling in anticipation.
Remind me, because at this point, a lot of the people that I see is just kind of blends together. What's HiTop known for?
He's the bad Spider-Man movie guy.
Oh, he's the one who hated 2, right?
Oh, no, he's the guy who likes... That's Southpaw.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Southpaw's the degenerate who just says stupid shit on Twitter now for black.
So wait, what's...
HiTop's the guy who hates the MCU Spider-Man movies for very stupid reasons.
Okay, was he the guy who said that, like, the X-Men has the best interconnected universe?
It has a connected universe?
I think that's Captain Midnight. That sounds like a Captain Midnight thing more than a HiTop thing.
I think that was like Matthew.
Yeah, I don't know. It was one of those videos covered by EFAP, you know, because that narrows it down.
I just watched the EFAP where he mentioned that, but I forget who. I think it was Monday Matt.
Yeah, it's probably Monday Matt. This is the guy that says Wonder Woman 1984 is a great movie.
Oh, Wonder Rapist.
Yeah. Yeah, EFAP covered him. Madvocate also covered him. Shout out to Madvocate, by the way. Madvocate is great. Really, really good critic. I like Madvocate quite a bit.
I actually have a question, like, just because you brought it up. So in Wonder Woman 84, the fucking Mandalorian gives what's her name, the blonde bitch. I don't remember
Cheetah.
yeah, just Cheetah. She doesn't have a name. She has a designation, like most women. But that's besides the point.
Other than
Anyway.
the first model.
Remember her as the Ghostbusters lady nobody wants to see anymore.
Oh, that's right. And anyways, what was I saying? Okay, so she uses the stone first thing in the movie. I recall that. But then freaking Mandalorian says, "Here, I'll give you one for free." Why does she get two?
I think
No
because
idea,
the Rock,
because the plot says so.
like here's the
Yeah.
thing. If you had to make it make sense, I would say the Rock could give one and he can give a second one because
But he
they're two
is The
separate
Rock.
entities.
He is
Yeah.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Yeah, the wish he made was he wished to become the Rock, not that he has the
The
Rock's
powers of the Rocks, yeah.
I actually now kind of want to see 1984 with The Rock Johnson being the Wishing Stone.
You know what? Why not?
Just his face as the stone.
It's like a marble head of himself.
That's what I'm imagining.
That would be amazing.
It,
But yeah,
it, like
I have
talks.
no idea. The weirdest thing is he's like during the like wish granting craze fest at the end,
Which
he
is actually pretty
gives-
funny.
It is pretty funny, but it says that he says, "I give her your ferocity," which makes it make even weirder sense that she turns into a cat person.
Well, and Cheetah's wish was to become an apex predator. That really shouldn't have done anything. Humans are already apex predators, right?
We are
Yeah.
the contemptible species. We are the superior species of all time.
Yeah, if we pretty much have the ability to wipe out pretty much every other living organism on the planet other than the bacteria and the insects.
Oh, I'm
But
sure we
we're
could do that
trying.
if we tried.
We're
Yeah.
trying, though.
Yeah.
And they breed too fast for us to really destroy. We could destroy most mammal species and reptile species, but
We
I don't
can
think we could
reset the
destroy
Earth.
yeah. Well, okay, we could destroy everything, but specifically, we could wipe out like wolves or lions as a species
And cheetahs.
and cheetahs.
And
We've
Cheetah's
already wiped out several species.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm saying we can do something that no other animal species has had, or even any culture previous to us could have done.
Yeah.
He turns into Godzilla.
Yeah.
He's like, Apex Predator? Oh, I saw that movie. Isn't Godzilla the Apex Predator? Okay.
No, he's king of the monsters. She got a sex change. It's very progressive.
Yeah, no, really, really stupid movie. Godzilla King of the Monsters is not a good movie. It's kind of passingly entertaining, but it's mostly bad.
Listen. When I saw Ghidorah, much like anyone else my age, I clapped like a trained seal, unhinged my jaw, and, made that fucking soy boy voice because I saw a creature that I remember from when I was 6.
Yeah.
Good. I had no nostalgia for it. I've never liked
Yeah.
Godzilla much.
And that is why you are a fucking plebeian.
I named my cat
Indeed.
King Ghidorah.
You did not.
Yeah, well, my sister has a cat named Godzilla, and my cat, my King Ghidorah looks just like him, so there you go.
Well, here's the thing. You got to now obviously make them fight.
Yeah.
You have to. You're obligated to.
Yeah, King Ghidorah would win. This little fucker is a nuisance.
Apex Predator.
Apex Predator, yeah.
Alrighty.
But
Well,
I've been watching old EFAPs, and I remember them mentioning they're supposed in the trailer. They said there are going to be 14 of them in that movie, and I'm like, that's a fucking lie. There's not even 7, and that's stretching it. We only get 3 or 4 for any significant screen time.
Well, you see, if they did more than that, then they'd have a tough time having screen time for everybody. So they could only do 1 or 2.
All joking aside, though, I did find the the burning Godzilla thing, like when he was literally going nuclear, probably the coolest shot in the film. Like how his very presence is causing buildings to literally melt.
Yeah,
Well,
that's cool, but that's why I say it's passingly cool. It's mostly about stupid humans that I don't care about.
Yeah, I want
I'll-
more.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, like a
they
lot of people have
wipe 'em
said, Godzilla would be a lot more interesting if they cut out all the humans shit, but unfortunately they have a lot of human shit.
Or
It's
do you
not
just
even
do what the
well-written it's not even well written human garbage. It's mostly just bland family drama with a really, really, really stupid environmentalist Karen as the bad guy.
well, I've
People
seen
die
some
when
of
they
these-
are killed, Karen.
All
Not
Karen
really.
should be roasted alive. But I've seen some of the old Godzilla movies that do human stuff well because they don't focus on a character. They're just this is the humans reacting to Godzilla, and it's a lot better.
Which is how it
don't-
should be.
Yeah, just don't focus on any characters. I don't give a shit. Even if it's the president, I'll gladly see him be roasted alive.
Mhm,
Speaking of roasting things alive, aren't we supposed to be watching HiTop?
indeed.
Yes.
Alrighty. I've watched this video already just to kind of like see, and it's basically inference the video for 48
Oh,
minutes.
God.
No, that sounds like so much fun.
We're at the historic Chinese Theater on Hollywood Boulevard for what promises to be the biggest movie premiere of the year. People have come
Jesus.
from all over the world because
I did hear of somewhat of a backlash.
Let's get an expert opinion on that from USA Today's junior movie critic, 10-year-old Danny Wisniewski.
What the fuck?
What?
It was very violent. It was a total attack against kids.
He was fed
with
that
the
fucking
idea.
script.
I agree. That feels very, very staged. This
Who the
feels
fuck
very.
would trust a child?
No,
And-
who would think a child actually thought that?
And
Children,
child
are
thinks.
children crave violence. That was how. When I saw the Lord of the Rings when I was 5, I was like, "Yes, give me more! This is awesome."
And then Amazon did give you more.
yeah.
I said the Fellowship of the Ring when I said the Lord of the Rings when I was 6. That means that's why I'm specifically talking about the Fellowship of the Ring.
He's in denial.
Mhm. Well, I mean, it's not like Amazon's doing a Lord of the Rings TV show. It's not like they desecrate another famous fiction thingy after what they did to A Wheel of Time.
Yeah. Yay, September 2nd, folks. We will be watching that, and we will probably be very angry. At least I will be angry.
Enjoy. You enjoy that.
I still need to watch the original Lord of the Rings. I'm pretty sure I've seen them, but I can't remember because I was a little child.
There's a piece of jewelry, everybody wants it, and then they throw it in the fire.
I know the plot. I've seen videos.
Are you high?
No.
No.
I can get sugar high, though.
Well, I mean, no more higher than usual.
Yeah.
You get the fuck away from here!
So did you like it? Did you like it?
You haven't seen Lord of the Rings?
No, I've been wanting to.
Well, you better clear a fucking day, literally.
Mm-hmm. Worth
Give
it.
me a day, and I'll see if I can make it work.
Yeah,
Well,
I mean,
literally,
you could probably get the day off of work from that. For that, yeah, it's a
Well,
worthwhile
one of-
thing.
I
Yeah.
asked my boss, "Hey, can I take the day off to watch Lord of the Rings?" And he
You've
just looks at
never
me like,
seen Lord of the Rings, you're fired.
yeah,
Yeah.
like legit. He's like, "You haven't seen this? Go, or I'll fire you. You're not getting a raise until you see those movies."
Yeah, so I actually one time, just for like I think was with like a watch party with some friends of mine. We watched every single all 3 extended editions of Lord of the Rings in one day.
I did that. I did that while playing World of Warcraft. I had never been so immersed in a game before with Lord of the Rings in the background.
Oh, I did the opposite. I watched a movie called Knights of Badassdom about LARPers, and then I watched Thor 2.
Which was the better LARP, Thor 2 or the other movie?
I don't know. They were both kind of shit.
Thor 2 is literally the most forgettable movie in the MCU.
So Polyshock. Hey, Skids, Neil, always a pleasure. Yeah, I agree with that. HiTop standards are like a wave, always changing. Yeah.
That's all these reviewers. They don't have a standards.
HiTop's especially hypocritical, though there are consistencies. Like he just said that, oh, it's a problem in Spider-Man Far From Home that he has money problems. And then when Falcon has money problems in Falcon and Winter Soldier, he's like, yeah, that's how it should be. And it's just like, no, that doesn't make any sense. Falcon should be.
Why does he just want people to be in poverty? What the fuck?
Because he's a communist, that's why.
Well, because he's poor, and instead of thinking he should be making more money for being a costumed vigilante who saves the world on multiple occasions, everyone else should be as poor as him because he's a costumed vigilante that saves the world on multiple occasions. I think. I don't actually know.
Would you think this movie would be improved if they made Batman poor?
Yeah. Well, I'm just thinking like just because Falcon doesn't even poor because he saves the world. He should be rich because he's a military contractor.
He should be. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Sorry.
I was just going to add, and he's one of the Avengers. Does Iron Man not pay them?
Iron Man's dead.
Well, so
he should have paid them before he died.
When would he? Unironically, when would he have had the time? Because they didn't come back till about 20 minutes before he kicked the bucket.
I mean, before the whole snapping, did they not pay?
In the save it. He probably had some stuff in savings.
Probably.
And his interest would probably have gone up since he didn't use since at least a few places. The stock market might have crashed quite a bit. But
money would still be there.
Here's the thing. You could potentially argue for Falcon not having money due to the fact he's also a traitor to the US government, and then he gets snapped away for 5 years. But then he's a military contractor the next time we see him in the first episode of the series, so he should already be getting his money back.
Anyway, I just paid more attention to the video we're supposed to be watching. Why does Tim Burton look like that?
He's high.
Oh.
Because he's unironically looking right there, very fat.
Yeah,
I'm doing another one.
I didn't like it.
Yeah, did you have bad dreams afterward or not?
No.
And I remember.
Did you have bad dreams after this movie? No. Did you see the movie? What was scary in it? The gay man was the creepiest thing.
Yeah, or the fat pervy Mary Poppins was kind of weird.
When is that?
You remember when the penguin uses his umbrella as a helicopter?
I honestly didn't even realize Penguin was in the movie.
Penguin's in Batman Forever? I thought Batman Forever was Two-Face and the Riddler.
No, they're talking about Returns.
Yeah, they're talking about Batman Returns, but in this particular part, they're talking about.
Okay.
That's why they're saying it was scary to kids because it was
Warner Brothers and having a meeting.
It's not up or not?
No.
And I remember going into Warner Brothers and having a meeting.
It's not appropriate at all.
I'm going, we could do this, we could do that. And they go Tim, don't you want to do a smaller movie now, just something that's more.
And the film was full of little dirty, really raunchy little dirty jokes and lots of extreme violence.
And
with all the McDonald's toys, it's making it
raunchy,
sound
dirty
like
jokes in children movies.
Half hour into the meeting, I go,
that never happens.
You don't want me to make another one, do you? And they go, no.
McDonald's has apologized to us. They're embarrassed really now that they've thought it through.
I just said, no, I know you did. And so we just stopped it right there.
So they didn't screen the movie before deciding if it's appropriate for kids or not? Or what?
It seems like it was the puritanical outrage culture of the mid-90s.
Oh, think of the children.
Yeah, even though
I don't care about children.
and also here's the funny thing: we have graduated to far more extreme, like, violence for kids.
Oh, easily.
And like kids are watching R-rated movies all the time. They're like teenagers are watching freaking Game of Thrones when it when Game of Thrones was good.
Parent standards have kind of just lowered. It's like, they get worse on the internet.
Yeah, there's no blood at all, and like versus the kind of stuff that's right now. Like I'd say, like Falcon and that what is it? Captain America: Winter Soldier has more like extreme violence than anything in than most of Batman Returns, other than the man being set on fire.
Dude, honestly, Mighty Python would probably be scary to some kids just due to some of the shit they occasionally do, like the Fat Man exploding. This movie has nothing that beats that.
Or the rabbit.
Yeah.
That rabbit was awesome.
Wait. Hold on. What? Behind the rabbit? It is the rabbit!
I actually don't know if HiTop is the one smearing paint on his face. I don't know. Maybe. He does a lot of stupid stuff in his homemade films.
Oh.
Which he's actually done, and they're probably bad. But we should probably keep going.
Yeah.
I'll get drive-through.
I think that they were looking to re-energize the franchise, probably in a word more pop. And Joel, of course, was a perfect choice for that.
The studio did want another Batman, and they wanted it to be sort of reinvented. What I said was I'd have to talk to Tim Burton because he's a friend of mine, and I wouldn't do that if Tim wasn't comfortable with it. So I went and had lunch with Tim, and Tim said, "No, I'm through. I'm out of there."
Wait, so they didn't
enormous
fix the suit so he could actually move around? You got to be able to move around in the suit, and they didn't bother to fix that?
No. If he has the maneuverability of an action figure, it makes it just that much easier to sell the action figure.
Ugh.
True. But I will say this. I don't hate Joel Schumacher. I actually think that I like at least a couple. Joel Schumacher's made a couple of good movies, like Lost Boys. Technically, The Phantom of the Opera I like quite a bit. But I will also never say a bad word about Mr. Schumacher, because unlike Rian Johnson or David Benioff, because he seems like a genuinely nice guy. I just think that he was a bad pick for this, and I more blame Akiva Goldsman as the major problem for why these movies are bad. Because it seemed like he is the guy doing most of the crappy writing.
You know what's funny? Becca over the weekend showed me for the first time Moulin Rouge. I've never seen that movie before. But that movie, with all the color, all of the stuff going on in it, I feel like that's the movie Joel Schumacher always dreamed he would be able to make.
Yeah, and he
What's
kind
Moulin
of
Rouge?
The one about
the musical.
About the French bordello.
Yeah, there's a lot of color. There's a lot of like bright color, a lot of really crazy camera work, a lot of quick cutting. It's
fucking insanity is what it is.
Yeah, and it's got pretty much like most like popular pop songs, like "Diamonds Are a Girl's Best Friend" and "The Hills Are Alive."
Yeah, that's popular in 2001.
Yeah, but basically like really anachronistic songs all over the place.
It is. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I actually highly recommend that movie just to watch once, and see if you like it, because it is nuts.
It is pretty nuts, yeah.
Your description has now just put the song "All the Single Ladies" in my head.
I'm kind of surprised they didn't do that one.
That would have been pretty funny. I think like there's just some like yeah, it's pretty crazy. Like Baz Luhrmann is a very interesting filmmaker to say the least.
You know, he's actually doing a movie about Elvis coming up in 2022, like this year.
Wow. I might check that out, actually.
Yeah, I thought that too, because I was like, I'm actually not against that after watching this. That seems like something he would do.
Yeah. Alrighty. Let's keep going. But like, yeah, I'll say this about like I think like Joel Schumacher kind of tried with his Phantom of the Opera to kind of do something like what Moulin Rouge did with kind of the big theatrical stuff. But yeah, I don't think that he was a good choice for Batman. I think like directorially it's fine. I just think that the script is the major problem with this movie. And I lay that blame solely on Akiva Goldsman, who I will never stop ragging on, because I think that he sucks. He's barely done anything good. It's maybe like one or two flukes. Pretty much everything else has been bad, like Transformers 5 and Batman and Robin and Batman Forever. All right, let's keep going.
On anyone's part, because we had gone into it with being told constantly that no one wanted another Batman movie. I'd never made a comic book before, and it's just great for the imagination because you're not dealing with real life.
Joel always wants to push the envelope. He wants it fantastic, I mean, to use his own words, exciting and a little extreme.
My job was to put in everything.
When's the HiTop gonna
Look
come
at
in
it
this
today, you
HiTop
wouldn't
video?
think twice about it. At the time, it was a little on the edge. It was sort of like
He's
Saturday
going
Night
to do
Fever
this
on
throughout
acid.
the video.
He has to show a lot of interviews, the themes. You got to see that they loved doing their job.
Staying
that
safe.
means it was
So,
all
as a
good.
kid, how many times did you watch Batman Forever? I
0.
was born 4 years
Nah,
after it was
like,
released in
twice.
theaters, and I died at age 4 from an explosion caused by my father's VCR. As my soul rose.
Okay, 0. Like literally 0. I had never watched this movie before a couple weeks ago. Like
I
being
think-
fully serious.
I think I saw it once.
I-
I vaguely remember. Yeah, I vaguely remember the Riddler and all that stuff, but otherwise, yeah, I probably only just saw it once.
I could count the amount of times I've seen this movie on one hand. In fact, once when I was a kid, because I was at a guy's house, and I saw the circus scene, and that was about it. The second time when I saw the full movie was when I got a 4-pack with all the 4 classic Batman movies, and the third time was this time.
Yeah, like no, I have not seen this movie. I've seen it once, and it was the only one out of the original Batman movies that I watched. I think it was just Batman and Robin, and I only really watched it once.
So you had a good time with that one?
Yeah. It was actually like my second Batman movie that I ever watched. No, third, since I watched Batman Sub-Zero, then Mask of the Phantasm, then Batman and Robin. Bit of a whiplash on that one.
My dad sat me down one day and said, "Boy, you're gonna watch this with me." I said, "Okay, what is it?" It was Batman '89, and at the end I was like, "Oh, that was awesome."
Yeah, it is. It's a really good movie. Alrighty. But yeah, like first off, like no. And he's also wearing his colors on his sleeves. Like it's very nostalgic. Nostalgic for him. Just listening to him makes me feel out of breath. Yeah. He talks way too fast, I will admit. It's not Movie Bob bad. It was pretty annoying.
But if he talked slower, then you'd be able to tell what he was saying, and then people would realize he's dumber than he actually is. Or think he is. Or whatever. I don't
For
know.
my lifeless corpse, a police officer asked my father what had happened, and father said I should have been
dead earlier, as he'd been consuming Batman Forever 427 times a day since he was 2.
But after my death, there was a rebirth, and that rebirth was getting older and going through the
Schumacher Batman movies suck bigger than Robin's codpiece phase. These movies are nothing but camp and bat nipples phase. His Batman movies are the worst and deserve nothing but teenage hatred phase.
You're young, you love what you love unashamed. Then you get older, your first pube comes shooting out, and you hate what you once loved because you so desperately want to feel growth, feel maturity. And then you get even older. You can't run as fast, jump as
Or maybe
high,
you gain a
sleep
brain.
as well. and you realize something. You realize that young you, the 4-year-old kid who watched that movie 427 times a day, was a fucking genius. Several geniuses. A
flock of freaking Freuds.
Speaking of geniuses, do you want to be a flock of freaking Freuds? Then you should check out today's sponsor, Skillshare.
We're skipping the ad.
Yay.
The only
But don't you
skill.
want to
Wait,
learn
hold on.
about Skillshare?
Hold on. The only skill you can't share is talent, and HiTop has none.
Well, seriously, I hate when a lot of reviewers do this, where they describe everything as this is what you did and this is how you felt because you are exactly like this.
Yeah, and these are the diversity people who say that each individual experience is unique.
But there are better ways to phrase things. Like, don't just say you did this or you did that. Like, articulate.
Like, there's a reason when people grow up, they look back at Teletubbies and think, why the fuck did I like this show? It's really creepy.
Why was that the first thing you went to?
Because it's so fucking creepy.
Yeah, Teletubbies is a little bit creepy, but I only watched, I just didn't understand it and what a word they were saying got bored when I was a kid. And I was like, can we watch Lord of the Rings, please?
You didn't say that.
Or, well, I was like, can we watch something with swords, please? This is boring.
I just watched Thomas.
The Tank
That was
Engine?
my childhood. Yeah.
Oh, freaking what was it? I think freaking Ringo Starr was the voice of the narrator for a while. Who wouldn't like Ringo Starr narrating Thomas the Tank Engine?
Got to pay the dues if you want to sing the blues, and you know it don't come easy.
Actually, I think one of the Bonds did freaking Thomas too.
Thomas was big back in the day.
Yeah, it really was. It's weird to think about.
FAT Falcon and Winter Soldier was smearing red paint down his cheeks.
Oh, yeah. I like to call it Fat Wings. You know, easy abbreviation. Everybody knows exactly what I mean.
Why red?
Because blood.
Probably because he was like, if the MCU sucked for a while, and this is finally getting good. This is finally something for me to invest in, even though Falcon and Bucky are awful people.
They weren't at one point.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say everything after that game, all awful people. Actually, just have to Captain Marvel.
Yeah. Yeah, the only one that I can say is decent is Spider-Man No Way Home and Spider-Man Far From Home. Those
No Way Home was actually really good.
Yeah, I would say yeah.
But the problem is once you start thinking about the logistics of everybody forgetting about Spider-Man, it's kind of like, wait a minute, so how does that work temporally speaking?
It just doesn't. Yeah. They need to decide what the effects are, but it's so difficult.
Yeah, the scale of Spider-Man No Way Home is utterly insane. It's insane how much Doctor Strange is way too powerful. This is way too hard to scale now.
I actually, that's not my problem. It's not even really a problem so much as the only thing I'm kind of curious about is okay, so quite clearly the biggest draw with the MCU was it was built upon the relationships of all the characters. But now you've kind of made one of the most popular characters a freaking anomaly.
That is also a very good point.
But here's the thing. He's now separated from the jackasses we have now.
But here's the interesting thing, though, and if this was their intention, I got to give them credit. Basically everyone who the superhero community who knew about Spider-Man, right? They're already dead. For example, Tony, he's dead. Captain America, I'm going to assume dementia-ridden because he's old. Stephen Strange was kind of the last guy who really knew who Peter was. So they kind of cleaned it up.
Guardians of the Galaxy are still around, but
they're not a big presence on Earth.
Yeah, I actually Steve didn't. I don't think that Steve really knew that Peter Parker was Spider-Man.
He may not have, but either way, like he had us. You know, you're right. You're right. It was Tony's team. He was more of a thing of. But the point is that
Yeah.
they, admittedly, they kind of cleaned it up nicely if you think about it, because everybody else who knew him, other than Strange, is either gone or dead.
Yeah.
Except for those closest to him, like Happy.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
that's the rub with Happy though. But that's kind of the tragedy there.
Yeah.
Is this so? He still knows Aunt May from Peter, like from Spider / Peter. Is like, how does this work? How do you remember?
That's my question. That's my question. So what does that mean though? Does that mean if he just would have put on the Spider-Man mask, Happy would go, "Oh, hey, Spider-Man, what are you doing here?"
Alrighty. So we keep going with this.
We're
this is
talking
gonna
about
be
something fun though.
Yeah, I know, but we got to
This
get to the
video.
nuts. We are going to get something very fun, at least like pretty stupidly hilarious in a bit.
You
Well,
said that about
actually,
Max Magician. I don't believe you about shit anymore.
Max Magician is hilarious. I don't know what you're talking about. For me,
Turn on the fucking video.
After that free trial, it's only around $10 a month. So click my link down below to visit my channel. Thanks, guys. As Little Tyke, Batman Forever was my second favorite movie behind Spider-Man 2, of course, and I'm sure I'm not alone.
Fucking loser.
Man, can you
Monsters Unleashed?
imagine?
yep,
Like
Oh.
that was funny.
it was funny, but it was terrible. It's really bad. Not quite as bad as the first one, but it was pretty bad.
I guess
don't
he just really.
remember.
I guess
Sorry,
he
go
just
ahead.
terrible movies.
Yeah. I
He
don't
likes
really
Wonder
remember
Woman
those.
1984 and thinks it's unironically good and defends the rape thing as bad faith misinterpretation.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
sure.
Oh, I'm sure they didn't intend it. That doesn't change the fact that it is what's happening.
Oh, he's saying that like just because it's a weird body swap gag, it's not rape. Shut up.
Wait, no, Scooby-Doo 2 didn't have the body swap thing.
No, but Wonder Woman did.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I misunderstood.
Yeah, like
Does he not know
well,
what rape
well,
is?
it did have body manipulation with Scooby becoming smart and
Oh yeah, that did happen.
and Shaggy growing jock pecs.
No, he grew an entire jock body, period.
Jock body. He also grew boobs, I think.
He had man
Because of-
boobs.
Yeah, and but at least like Scooby-Doo 1 had Scooby and Grandma Drag and had him punch Fred. That was
I just. What are we talking about now?
well, it's just that he put his like Spider-Man 2. I'm just like, okay, I kind of understand that. Batman Forever, Spider-Man, Scooby-Doo 2. Why? There are so many better movies.
Maybe this is him as a kid. He hasn't seen many movies yet.
True.
You know, at least when I was a kid, my mom said my favorite movie was like Dumbo and then Lion King and then Star Wars. At least there was a progression.
Yeah. True.
I don't remember what my favorite movie was back in the old day. I don't think I saw many. Maybe it was Lion King because I had the DVD for it, or Hercules, or Aladdin.
I really liked Hercules and I liked Aladdin, but I think the movies that I wore out their tapes was actually either the live action or animated Lord of the Rings movies. Those are the ones that I wore out the most.
And you say this guy has bad taste.
Well, at least I like swords, and I was very biased, and that was my bias back in the day. And I can say that, like, now looking back on it, the Oh, I think there was actually like another one that I frequently rented was the Last Unicorn animated movie, which I still think is
Really?
pretty good. Yeah, I quite like that movie. Especially since like I love I watch The Hobbit fairly frequently, the animated Hobbit movie very frequently as well. I was scared spitless of the animated Lord of the Rings, the Bashki Lord of the Rings movie, though. Like, well, a big deal was the music and the creepy rotoscoped orcs. They just freaked me out. Yeah. But yeah, let's keep going. Let's see what he has to say.
Batman Forever is the perfect movie for little kids, man. It's goofy, it's funny, it's never not.
No, it's...
It involves the Riddler shoving a guy out of a window and then framing it as a suicide, along with him wearing increasingly risky outfits and thrusting all over the place.
And a horny psychologist.
Let's be clear.
Go ahead.
You first, sorry.
Oh, well, I think I mixed it up with a different movie. I was going to say a horny, stupid psychologist, but I don't remember if she was in Forever or a different one.
That was Forever.
I did enjoy the Aragon movie, but then I got Taste.
Well, then clearly you haven't played the game. I mean, I haven't either, but I own it.
Like, let's be clear. There's dirty jokes in lots of kids' movies for the adults who are forced to watch it with them. But this one's a bit, much.
This goes pretty far in the she is clearly wanting to
fuck.
Yeah, she wants to screw Batman's brains out.
Here's the thing. I think they would all go over a kid's head because I doubt they'd be able to understand the innuendo or just anything happening in the movie.
Actually, one of the most clever jokes I've seen in a kid's show was actually a dick joke. And do you guys remember Superhero Squad?
No.
Like, you ever heard of that?
No.
Okay, so what that was it was a show that Marvel did for basically a toy line. And it had every hero except for fucking Spider-Man, because of course they couldn't get that. Anyways, just real quick, Thor and Hercules have a contest where they do the labors of Hercules. Kind of a cute little setup. And one of the labors is to go kill the Hydra and come back with one of the heads. So Hercules and Thor, they come back, and Hercules, opens the bags and show the head. And then Thor opens his and he says, well, here's the head. They said, that's not the head. He says, then what is it? It's his dick.
There's also has anybody here heard of the movie Your Highness?
No.
No.
It's got James Franco. I think it's Danny McBride. In a stoner humor fantasy movie, and at one point they find that they have to kill the Minotaur. And because he can't cut off the Minotaur's horn, he cuts off his the dead Minotaur's wiener and wears it around his neck as a trophy.
He wears the man's cock as a necklace.
Yeah.
And that
dick joke.
That means you know what true love is.
When he cut off a man's cock?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Let's keep going, shall we?
Yeah, I agree.
Entertaining as all hell. It exists in its own reality, an extremely engrossing, exaggerated reality where the villains scream and cackle and jiggle and while wielding a blender brainwave sucking helmet as a weapon, while a brooding hero in black rubber bursts through the flames like a vengeful demon exploding from hell.
Is anyone else getting lag?
Yeah,
it's a film where
it's
the
choppy.
musical score by Elliot Goldenfall sounds.
I thought that was literally just a video. Like he's just stopped
let's
caring
just
and was
wait for a
putting
little bit.
images up.
Yeah, sorry. I don't know
Well,
what the problem is.
So
I have
he
a
was
palate cleanser ready for when we're
Vengeful
done
demon.
with this video.
so he basically
We're
described it
gonna be here
as
for a while.
so he described it as camp without saying camp. Like the villains get to be all hee hee hee, ooh, I'm so evil. While the hero is a brooding guy in a bat suit who's more concerned with getting laid than stopping crime. Have I summed it up properly?
Yeah,
pretty much. Yeah.
Hooray!
It's like a beautiful
I mean,
rendition of the feeling you get playing make-believe, the feeling you get falls hell in order to stop them. It's a film where the musical score by Elliot Goldenthal sounds like a beautiful rendition of the feeling you get playing make-believe, the feeling you get smashing your action figures together.
I was thinking, what do little children sing? They
wait,
sing
did
their
he
own
say it
scores.
gives you the
Did
feeling
look
of
what
make-believe
kids play? They're
twice?
composing their own music. And I was going, yeah.
He did, didn't he? I think he did.
Oh.
Or maybe it's the thing
probably.
being laggy.
Yeah, I don't know what the problem is. I don't get it.
Yeah. Maybe this would be a good time for this
They really
stream
better.
sponsor, NordVPN or whatever.
NordVPN, did you know that there are movies in Netflix that you cannot watch in your home country? Well, with NordVPN, you can change your country of origin and watch whatever the fuck's going on Netflix Sweden. For example, they may have a Serbian story.
Mm-hmm.
A Serbian film, you mean?
It's a story in Serbia, isn't it?
Fair enough. I was just thinking that it's literally just called the Serbian film.
I couldn't remember the fucking name.
Wait,
now the
NordVPN, you can make the internet think you were German.
Ooh. And the Germans
Well,
never did anything bad, so that'd give you access to literally everything.
I was gonna say, if you dress up right, you can make anyone think you're German.
Mm. Well, isn't the prerequisites for
You just
that to
put on
be
a swastika.
straight, white, and male?
I'll be right back, guys. You guys can keep going. I'll be back in a moment.
Well, considering the major German guest on this show is a trans woman, it doesn't quite fit.
Oh, okay.
Good old Wisp. Love you, Wisp. You're great. I love your red pill diatribes. They're really, really, really entertaining.
Actually, recently, I noticed Wisp was in Shad's server while Oz was streaming Arcane. Have you watched that, by the way?
No, not yet.
Do it.
I'm in the middle of I'm in season 5 of Supernatural right now.
Final wait. But anyways, I
might
joined
just watch
in.
it as like a palate cleanser because there's 15 seasons of Supernatural.
And aren't they like shit after 3?
I find them kind of samey, though they kind of get into some weird creative stuff. Like they have a Trickster put them on a series of TV shows, like a soap opera, a sitcom, a bunch of other things, a cop procedural show. And there's some entertaining bits, but yeah, it's kind of dumb and samey. And I don't know how they managed to, because they're in the middle of the apocalypse right now. And I don't know how they extended out to 10 more seasons after this.
Yeah, neither do I. Didn't even realize a show could have that many seasons.
Yeah, it's like...
But,
yeah. But yeah, that's the... Hopefully it's loaded up. Let's see.
It's deliberate goof. It's masterful camp with not a single worry, a single ounce of doubt or embarrassment. It's set out to do exactly what WB wanted to do, revitalize the Batman franchise, go in the complete opposite direction of Burton, and make something that made them millions in marketing deals, toy sales, and Happy Meal tie-ins.
Hamburger Company.
Superhero bun.
All the way to...
Kellogg's cornflakes.
I mean, it's just extraordinary.
Kellogg's mini wheat cereal.
It is
Jesus
a
Christ.
large part of the Batman franchise.
Kellogg's cornflakes.
It's one of the most expensive and visionary commercials ever made.
This is the new Bat grapple hook. It's seen a lot of action.
But is that all there is to it? Is it just style, just mindless fun with absolutely no substance to back it up? It's all
Yes.
I'd say it's even less than that because the complete lack of substance made me bored watching it. I don't even remember it anymore.
That grappling hook would not be given to a child.
No.
Yeah, you just you'd shoot your eye out.
No, it would. No, I think it might just hit your head and give you either a concussion or just cave in your skull.
There are a million ways for a child to hurt themselves or someone else with that grapple.
That explains why
It's
so
like-
many people
it's
are
not
stupid
a-
these days.
And it's not this isn't a think of the children argument. It's like, no, certain things should not be allowed near children just by virtue of the fact that kids do not know how to use them, in the same way that I would not let a child climb into a trash compactor. Similar principle.
There's a reason there's a brand of Legos that's specifically meant to be used by kids, because you don't want to trust them with the small things that they'll try and eat because they're children.
Yeah, you don't want them to choke.
I actually, like, for evidence, I don't know why, but child me, for some reason, just ate a marble out of a pot for some reason, and I just got quiet for some reason. And everyone noticed, was like, what the fuck did you do?
Yeah.
Kids are retarded.
Yeah. Let's keep going.
Always called goofy. It's always called beyond over the fucking top. But it's never called smart. It's never called insightful or skillful. And it sure as fuck is never called a good adaptation or rendition of the Batman character. And
With good reason.
There's a million versions of Batman, mate.
But also, it's just like, it's not insightful. It's not smart. It is none of the things that you described. I'm excited to. I'm interested to see how you justify this BS. But
honestly, this Batman movie gives me to feel kind of like that 101 Damnations movie, the live action one they made after the cartoon, not the reboot that they decided to do because fuck Disney. It has that same feel, like Home Alone kind of feel. It's made with a Home Alone budget and physics.
Yeah, where like I think that Cruella gets kicked by a horse or something out of a window.
She falls in a vat. Some guy gets electrocuted. Another is turned into an ice sculpture.
All the fun things from Home Alone.
Yeah.
That's from the Damnations movie. Not even Home Alone. Home Alone had a fucking flamethrower burn a guy's head.
Or had a guy fall down icy stairs and destroy his back and his ability to poop forever.
Well,
I think did a guy step on a nail?
Yes.
Yeah.
Who are we talking about?
We're talking about Home Alone.
Oh.
I don't know how we got on this topic. We should probably keep moving.
Oh, I watched Jay Longbone's review of the fifth movie. And I'm like, holy crap! This isn't just comic mischief anymore. It's just brutality.
This is like a horror movie.
There's a fifth.
Yeah, there's a fifth.
I keep forgetting this. I only know of 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah. But no, the fifth one was kind of terrible. I wouldn't recommend watching it. Except
it's not kind of terrible. It's just completely terrible.
The Holiday Heist is what it's called. Oh my gosh, that's so cringe.
Like, let's be clear. Home Alone, there's already, like, the kid's a psychopath. If you have to keep one up with yourself every movie, you've basically made the next Nazi.
Yeah.
I did not see that coming.
Yeah, well, it's kind of he should, like, in Home Alone 2, those burglars should be dead.
Yeah.
They're hit by bricks.
Yeah, there's also them falling onto a car hard enough to cave in the car.
So Wonder Woman 1984 again.
Yeah.
That's death.
Yeah, that guy wouldn't be moving.
Yeah, it's okay to have movies that are dumb fun. You can enjoy these without having to justify it with calling them smart and insightful. Exactly. Like there are what's a dumb fun movie I like? Aquaman. Aquaman is a dumb fun movie that I really like.
It's the best Star Wars movie I've seen in a while.
Yeah. Aragon's kind of Aragon's is so bad it's good. It's not like it doesn't kind of wear its dumbness on its sleeve.
You know one that's really dumb, and I would love to watch it again, but the Buzz Lightyear movie.
The Star Command one?
Yeah.
I would too. I've seen clips of it. That one is really good.
Yeah, I know I have a plan. I've stated the plan. What I don't know is why you're not doing the plan.
Oh,
Zurg is the best thing in the movie.
Wayne Knight is a freaking wonderful Zurg.
He like records Buzz Lightyear to watch his best moments again. It's the best movie ever.
What was it? He also had the line like, he said, like Granny Zurg always says, if you want something turned evil, do it yourself. And then he turns around and goes, Granny Zurg would be so proud.
That's just hilarious.
Curse you, Buzz Lightyear!
The writing in that show, because I was watching a few clips not too long ago, it is top notch.
It really is. We need to see it. We genuinely need to see it.
Also, an "I am your father," like I think you were telling us about the "I am your father" thing from Buzz Lightyear.
Yeah, because Watch Mojo showed it to me. Yeah, they have like 2 Lego lightsabers, and then Zurg's losing. He's like, "Wait, I'm your father."
Yeah, he pulled that.
Step away from that dingy thing.
Wait, I didn't realize this. Craig Ferguson, Gobber the Belch from the How to Train Your Dragon movies, plays the vampire air robot in the show.
Oh, no. I love the pun. That one's actually a clever pun. Nos for Ot2.
That is
actually a solid pun.
That is extremely good. And Patrick Warburton is Buzz Lightyear. Oh man, that's great. Yeah, that's dumb fun movies. Like it's just dumb fun can occupy its own space. Like Shazam. Shazam is dumb fun. It doesn't make it like
Shazam.
It's I watched it with my little sister, so I enjoyed it. And sometime we'll have to do the I find Professor Geek's take on how they've ruined Shazam really weird, because he says like they've kind of changed a good pure-hearted kid into a just sarcastic kid, somebody who's more sarcastic. And it's just like, because pure-hearted kids don't exist and they aren't interesting.
Not to mention that sarcasm and being good aren't mutually exclusive. You can be both.
Mm-hmm.
He's also, I think, a bit older than what he's supposed to be in the comics.
Yeah. Let's keep going. Let's see what more this guy comes up. We're only 7 minutes in, folks, and we've been at this for an hour. Dang. We need to keep going.
And to those calls, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to hang up the phone and disagree.
Pyrotechnics that you had in Batman. But there's a lot.
Do imitation or rendition or stop. But it's never called smart. It's never called insightful or skillful. And it sure as fuck is never called a good adaptation or rendition of the Batman character. And to those calls, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to hang up the phone and disagree.
So apparently it's smart, insightful, a good adaptation of Batman, and skillful?
Well, okay, so we can already take off smart and insightful, because clearly it was not.
No.
They had the main hero ignoring the villains, openly moving their plans forward so he could get boned. And then he was about to give up being Batman completely so he could have a date on one night.
Yeah. And then he tells the girl, psych, JK, gotta go.
Look, Catwoman just gave him a really big boner, and he needed to get it out somehow, and he can't do it himself.
That's what he has Alfred for.
Master Wayne, I don't have the necessary mouth room for your gigantic penis. Please, can you find somebody else?
Please, no. I don't want to imagine this Alfred doing that.
No, it has to be. Oh, what's his name from The Dark Knight and from Batman
Michael
Begins?
Caine.
It has to be Michael Bay going, Master Wayne, I can't fit your cock in my mouth.
There's a lot more.
I'm only one man, Master Wayne.
There's a story and there are characters, man. But there's a lot more.
Gonna hang up the phone and disagree.
Pyrotechnics that you had in Batman. But there's a lot more going on than pyrotechnics. There's a story and there are characters. And
But it is a pop culture opera, and it deserves to be
a pop culture opera.
Yes, and it deserves to be a pop culture opera. And if it,
What does this even mean?
I have no idea.
Every time I hear the word opera for a genre, I'm like, what the fuck do you mean?
What did he mean by this?
He means D's nuts, obviously.
I have no idea what that means, but cool. Thank you, Mr. Who is Joe.
Well, D's nuts is an attack that squirrels do in Octopath Traveler.
I tried
Really?
playing that game. I could not get through it.
But yeah, pop culture opera, that seems like it's kind of dumb and over the top, therefore it's good. Or at least over the top is kind of, I think, what he's saying. That's the only thing I can think of with pop culture opera that's weird. Maybe you'll explain.
failed, it would fail.
Pop culture opera.
Yes, and it deserves to be a pop culture opera. And if it failed, it would fail as that.
Let me start by saying if you don't think Joel Schumacher could have done a dark drama about a deeply flawed protagonist who struggles to figure out who he is, watch Falling Down, in my useless opinion. It does
Okay,
what
actually,
Todd
that's a
Phillips'
really
Joker
good
does,
movie.
but
Yeah, well, the point is, it doesn't really matter. It's
Because that's not the movie he made.
yeah, he didn't make
made
that
a
for The Dark
poor,
Knight
weird
or
movie.
for Batman Returns. So this is a completely irrelevant point. We can just skip it,
Yeah.
I guess.
It's like when
Yeah.
people say Joss Whedon can write. He wrote Iron Man. It's like, yeah, but it doesn't mean he's writing good stuff right now.
Mm-hmm.
who he is, watch Falling Down, in my useless opinion. It does what Todd Phillips' Joker does, but better. Hell, watch pretty much anything in his filmography and see how vastly different to Batman Forever they all are. Not all of his work had this insane, lurid lighting, the constantly moving, tilting, and flying camera, the extremely expressive, excessive pop visuals and direction that shatter your corneas into 1,000 question marks. Joel was a versatile filmmaker. He didn't always make or need to make or want to make these pop culture operas. What the is a pop culture opera? What the hell
Good
is a living
question.
Good question. You better.
When you work on a comic book, when you're making a living comic book, that's what it's supposed to be.
You can interpret that 1,000 different ways, but to me, it's the closest thing to matching the tone, the panels, the colors, the romance, the drama, the pure exhilaration of being a child and opening.
That is so frickin' vague as to be utterly useless.
No,
yeah, but it's
not.
just his opinion, bro. Why are you getting so angry?
That's not the problem. The problem is it's very disingenuous. There are so many different types of comics, but I apologize. There's so many different types of comics with so many different tones. You can't just say like one comic book movie is the same as another.
Yeah.
Sure you can.
That'd be comparing like the Batman to the Batman Brave and the Bold. Those two shows have very different tones.
Well, actually, what he just said though about what was it? He just said about Falling Down being a better Joker movie. It's like, no, Falling Down and Joker are two different movies.
I've never seen Falling Down, so I can't
It's
say.
good. It's really good. It is about a movie about a man having a very bad day, but he thinks himself the hero. There is no point in Joker where Arthur Fleck is thinking he's the hero of the story.
He just thinks that the world is bad, but he's crazy inside of a bad world.
Yeah.
It's very much a man embracing nihilism.
Oh, that's a word that means things.
Yes, it is. All words mean things, believe it or not.
Oh,
Except for Goomba Goomba Flurkulek. That word does not mean anything.
Calm down there.
Were you quoting something from fucking Hoyd?
I don't think so.
Because I know Hoyd has some made up words in that book.
Maybe. I don't know. I can't remember when he speaks gobbledygook. I can't remember any specific intonations. The only weird thing I have is aki lunamore. That's the weirdest thing I can think of from Stormlight off the top of my head.
That's from Stormlight?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, does it actually mean anything?
Yeah, it's a description of a rock.
It's one of the characters' names. Yeah. His nickname is Rock.
Did Sanderson have a fucking stroke?
Read the word and you see why it's strange. I also know Hoyd has done 3 gibberish words, but one of them had a hidden meta meaning, and people are still wondering if the other 2 do.
This reminds me. The way you just said made me think of Doodle Bob from SpongeBob, where he just goes "Nee hoy me noy." And I'm imagining Sanderson just spread out on the floor having a seizure as these words kind of just babble out of his mouth.
I don't know how the fuck he makes them up.
Either that or did a lot of research into Polynesian nomenclature, even though rock is described as a white as milk ginger with mutton chops.
All right, if it's Polynesian, I may be able to accept that, but I find my idea funnier. He's having an out-of-body experience, just spazzing out.
Rock is described as white. Every depiction I've seen of him has been pretty tanned.
No, there's official artwork of Rock where he's white. He's Shalon and is described as having horn-eater blood. And
wow, so they're actual gingers?
Yeah, they're actual gingers. They're mountain-dwelling gingers who talk like Polynesians.
French
Sanderson,
Polynesians.
Why did you give the gingers superpowers?
Because there's a lot of hot gingers and gingers.
That's true.
Yeah, Angie Everhart. Humana. She's back in the day. She's still good. She's still very handsome now, but back in the day, she was really, really good looking.
Up that comic book. It's not a comic book come to life. It's a kid reading a comic book come to life. It's a kid's fantasy, a dream, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. We need more dreams put to the screen. We need grander spectacle that is anything but unimaginative.
If this is a child's dream, I worry for that child. There's such... Ugh.
I agree.
There's also the element of... I actually feel like Batman Forever and Batman and Robin are fairly cynical studio movies.
Why do you feel that? I can't say they're cynical in any way.
Batman and maybe it's just Batman and Robin. Since Batman and Robin was a toy commercial first and foremost, because they said, please make it more. The studio told Joel, make it more toyetic as one of their studio notes. And they made the toys before they made the movie.
Oh, because that always works. I mean,
And-
it worked
and
for
kind of-
Zoids, I guess.
Well, the movie was a byproduct of the toys, not the other way around.
Yeah, worked for Zoids. Anyway.
But yeah, it just kind of feels like they were just trying to try and get people back and do a paradigm shift from Tim Burton's Batman and try and do something completely different.
Wait a second.
To get butts and seats.
Did they make the Batman credit card as a toy, and that's why it's in the movie?
Well, of course.
Because I'm thinking, did they just make the most genius marketing move of all time? Making a card with a bat on it, and then calling it a toy.
Eh.
Genius.
Makes sense, I guess.
I do think that a bat credit card, like the Nostalgia Critic meme of the bat credit card, is one of the funniest things that's coming out of him. More funny than most of his recent stuff.
Well, yeah, but that was like 15 years ago.
That is also true. Oh, he freaks out like he's like all somebody has to say is a bat credit card. A bat credit card, you scumbags! I'll kill you! I'll kill all of you!
I've heard that soundbite.
That again, that clip is like what, 15 years old?
Yeah, it was kind of the first thing of like I think it was like the first time I ever like found out. Oh, well, actually, the first thing I ever found of like review stuff was actually Disney December Black Cauldron, and that just kind of got me into the world of internet criticism.
Really? Because that didn't happen. That was long after Nostalgia Critic was a thing.
Yeah, well, I was in. I think it was like 2011 or 2012.
That was 2012. That was the. Oh Lord, that was To Boldly Flee.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't know about Nostalgia, and then I found his Batman and Robin review, and I was like, oh, maybe it is bad.
Maybe it is bad.
Yeah.
Batman Forever is fucking pure imaginative. Filmmaking. Joel went hard. He went all in. He had 78 million, and he used every penny of that to create an excessive spectacle that nobody had ever really seen before. We have action and set pieces that are so beyond the standard superhero fare, so ahead of their time, and frankly 10,000% more creative than most everything we get now. In 2 hours and 2 minutes, we get Batman trying to save the security guard while they are both trapped in a vault safe filled with boiling acid, a vault safe hanging from a helicopter swinging through the beautifully designed statue-filled neon-lit acid trip that is Gotham City, a helicopter that ends up crashing into Lady Gotham, splitting the statue's face perfectly in half, a Batmobile chase where it starts with Two-Face pretending to be an old woman with a baby stroll and ends with the Batmobile driving up a fucking wall, Bruce Wayne on the Batsuit fighting an army of BDSM goons while Dick Grayson tries to save the circus by tossing a giant cartoon bomb into the river, a circus filled with baby oil-covered buff body-painted bodybuilders, Dick Grayson stealing the Batmobile, riding it through the neon blacklight alleyways of Gotham, fighting off these skull-faced neon glow-stick-wielding golems. Batman crashing literally into the Gotham Gala, a gala consumed by hypnotic wavy projections and laser lights, throwing me into an almost euphoric epileptic seizure while the perfect background actor shouts with confidence and with elegance.
Elegance?
Batman. Let me hear that again.
Sure, while the perfect background actor shouts with confidence and with elegance. Two-Face in a purple lit gap.
He literally does Batman. Ah.
Amazing. Every word of what you just said was wrong.
Well, to be fair, he did describe things that are in the movie. It's just they're there.
No. Those two words disprove so much. With confidence and elegance.
No, but he said Batman. It's Batman. Did you not?
Beg your pardon?
Did you not feel engaged?
For the wrong reasons.
I felt hilarity.
Anyway.
I caught zero logic in all that. And that last bit, pure gibberish.
Man.
Gas-filled, sand-drenched.
Oh, sorry, I cut you off. What do you?
Oh, well, I was just gonna say he's just describing things that happen in the movie. Like, yeah, things happen in movies. That doesn't mean they're good.
Things indeed do happen in movies.
We're getting to runtime at least, okay, mate?
tunnel,
That's
making a fart
true.
joke before attempting to blow Batman up with his giant bazooka, but not before Batman can click this random button on his cape, causing himself to become fireproof, explosion-proof, and everything-proof. Batman is sex, and I just... The bat fucking boat, the bat fucking plane getting a...
Did you just say Batman is sex?
I think he did say Batman is sex.
Proof, explosion-proof, and everything-proof. Batman is sex, and I just... The bat fucking boat...
Oh, that was probably supposed to be Batman is sexy, but he didn't realize he'd cut himself off.
I think it's funnier if he says Batman is sex, like he is the personification of sex.
Or he's just a dick. Or a vagina.
Yeah.
The bat fucking plane getting attacked by a lethal game of battleship between Fuckface and the Tiddler. A rocky island emerging into a giant tower, a giant chamber of death with bright green question marks erupting, twisting, spinning from every corner, every crevice, casting beams of light on our hero as he burst into this practically built throne room. One of the grandest, most gratuitous, all-consuming images my eyes have ever had the pleasure of seeing. And that's the point, man. That's the beauty.
No.
A throne room built for the brain-sucking, cane-twirling, sparkly sparkle, and insecure mad scientist that desperately wants Bruce wants all of us to notice. It's not just the action bits,
Wait,
the
that's
thrills
what the
that are this
Riddler
special.
wanted?
It's every scene, man.
Yeah.
Every scene has this unique theatrical lighting, from Chase's bedroom apartment that's high in the sky to the Batcave buried beneath the ground. Every scene is shot, lit, and designed to be the most visually enthralling, eye-catching piece of pop entertainment. And that isn't easy. That wasn't easy. From the revolutionary...
I don't disagree with that. I think that it's way too busy.
Yeah, also it looks terrible. Poor CGI.
It kind of does. Take a breath.
I'm
please.
sure he took some breaths and cut them out. Otherwise, I'm pretty sure he would be dead.
Probably.
Well, you say that. Anyway, what else is this guy gibbering on about, or jabbering? The jabber of the gibber.
It's creatively shot, and therefore it's good.
No, because Batman could have completely destroyed that tower if he'd bothered to put 5 seconds into detective work.
Yeah.
I will die on that hill.
And also just the battleship thing is stupid, and the game doesn't make any sense.
The Riddler's costumes.
Yeah, those are pretty bad. They look like horrible pajamas.
There was like one good one.
Yeah, when he's wearing a suit with question marks. That actually looks fine, but when it's like the onesie, it's like, we don't want to see Jim Carrey's junk protruding through this. Please don't show us that.
And
also,
even
like,
when he's wore suits.
Yeah, even I don't want to see Jim Carrey's junk. Please, ask me first before you drop that on me.
There are very few men who are allowed to thrust on screen.
And Jim Carrey is not one of them.
Nope.
Use of computer-generated effects. That's not hyperbole, by the way. Forever was one of the first major uses of CGI, and the visual effects supervisor, John Dykstra, went on to work on the Raimi trilogy. To the
that means it's
Oscar-nominated
good.
cinematography by Stephen Goldblatt that makes our heroes
no.
feel like icons, our villains feel like maniacal devils, and photographs the insanity in a way that feels tangible while never being brought down by the limits of reality.
Tangible while never being brought down by the limits of reality. That sentence made no sense.
It feels touchable. Why don't you understand about feeling touchable?
Like, the only way I can interpret that is he's mentioning like how Gotham looks fucking oversized as shit.
Our villains feel like maniacal devils. I do not believe. I am not at all. I'm kind of vaguely entertained by Two-Face and Riddler, but that's because it's two actors who kind of know exactly what movie they're in and just don't give a crap.
They're getting paid.
Yeah, it's the same. It's like Jeremy Irons in Dungeons and Dragons, where he's like, "Oh, I'm in this kind of movie. Awesome.
I can chew the scenery and they will just give me more."
The insanely well-crafted, well-designed, and extraordinarily well-utilized use of miniatures to give this film a massive sense of scale. The use of practically built sets so big and so intricate that they couldn't build them on the Warner Brothers lot.
There wasn't a stage big enough to build our sets.
To the overall production design by Barbara Ling, who would later go on to win an Oscar for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Her and her team's work makes Gotham feel like the grandest city, a city filled with inconceivable and impossible architecture. Faces everywhere, godlike statues bursting from the buildings, a Gotham cluttered with dancing lights, crammed apartments, rich ballrooms, vast mansions, crazy caves, crazier circuses, and beautifully hideous hideouts that all have a distinct look, a distinct color palette, a unique vibe. All of this coming together to create a Gotham that doesn't try to be Burton's gothic nightmare, but instead feels like the perfect stage, the perfect backdrop to the mad hysteria that goes on in her streets.
I thought Barbara Ling would be brilliant for Batman. She's an extraordinary talent. She has great imagination and great style. She's just a force.
Wait, that's who they got to play
And
Batman?
I thought Gotham City would be designed by a force.
And you might be asking yourself at this point,
Barbara
why was this
plays
much work
Batman.
put into this? Why do most modern superhero movies cost $200 million more than Batman Forever, but have sets and production design that range from gray warehouses to CG post-apocalyptic particle effects porn? And I think the answer is pretty simple. Joel Schumacher cared about all of it.
Production design.
Okay, so that's a bit of I feel like they do care. It's just that they don't want to distract. They want other things to be the focus rather than the nutty backdrops.
You know, I wanted to bring this up earlier. You said he talks fast, but he's not movie Bob. And I wanted to bring up this analogy. What you basically said is he's not a nuclear bomb. He's just a regular bomb because my brain is fucking fried.
Yeah, he needs to redraft his scripts because he contradicts himself frequently, even in the same sentence.
I'm pretty sure he does it on purpose.
How can you say that to another writer? Are you the racism?
I'm a dick.
No, but how big of one?
I'm not as big a dick as Rags or Tarek, but I'm pretty bad.
Whoa! Well, fuck you too, buddy.
About 6 inches.
Well, you're a self-professed dick. So,
I have never said I was a dick.
Okay, you're a jerk.
And everybody loves me.
Especially your British model girlfriend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Play the fucking video.
Oh, well, we gotta get comp in the chat. Okay, writer, I came here to yell at you. Then I heard a man make a point. I now understand.
He now knows my pain.
Okay. Yeah, and also I will never say anything bad about Joel Schumacher as a person like I will about Rian Johnson, because Schumacher said if there was anybody who loved Batman Forever and went in disappointed, I am so sorry. It was not my intention was to entertain, not to disappoint. And I'm just like, that is a good person. That is a humble man right there. I applaud you.
Yeah, because he did his best job, and then people didn't like it. And he's like, "Well, I'm sorry, I did my best," but that. He's not telling that person they're wrong for not liking the thing. He's telling them that I'm sorry I didn't meet your expectations. There you go.
And it's crucial to every movie. It really is. Even the ones where you don't think so. It's actually telling you the story. I mean, the place, the day, the weather, the storefront, the restaurant, the apartment is telling you so much information. Your eye gets so much information. It's as important as casting. It just should be invisible. In a movie like Batman, it shouldn't be invisible.
Schumacher started out
What?
as
$200 a week costume designer.
He's passionate about that element. He had his unique style, his unique vision for his Batman that informed all the design choices. Edward Nygma's apartment is one of my favorite film sets ever designed, ever crafted. And that's not just because it's unreal, unlike anything out there. It's because it tells a story. It's unnaturally long, but small and crammed, covered with puzzles, cartoon characters, TV screens, pictures of Bruce. It's exciting, unusual.
What do you
but
mean by
sad.
this?
It's an elongated closet where Edward and his ideas are unseen, tucked away, hidden from everyone except for his fortune teller friend. And much like that,
Is it crammed or is it spacious? Pick one.
Not to mention,
it's just
not-
busy is the main thing.
and
That's
it's
the
not subtle. Like all that stuff that you get from seeing his room, you can already tell about him from the way he acts and stuff.
Also,
So-
can we please stop with the obsessed super fan becomes villain, and especially like zany, goofy villain like
Was he a
Electro.
super fan?
Bruce, yeah.
Yeah, he
I
wanted.
just thought he wanted to pitch his idea, and Bruce was like, nah, that's stupid.
He's got
Well, he
pictures
wanted-
of Bruce Wayne all over his apartment. I'd say he's obsessed.
Yeah, but
Okay.
I think his main motivation with Bruce was he wanted Bruce to back his brain science stuff, and Bruce was like, "Okay, petition it to my thingamadoodad," and Nygma Balls is all like, "You have to do it. You have to give me a yes or a no now." Then Bruce is like, "Okay, no."
And also, he was like, Bruce Wayne, and just looking at him as if he had just gotten the biggest boner in the world.
I mean, it was Bruce Wayne.
Yeah. But yeah, it's like, Syndrome. Yeah, Syndrome is the one exception to this. It is out of Wonder Woman 1984, Barbara. I don't even remember what her Barbara Minerva, I think is her name. Amazing Spider-Man 2 with Electro, and this. All three of those are really bad.
Yeah, but to be fair, this one came first, so the other ones were copying something bad, whereas this one came up with an original idea and didn't really do it very well.
Well,
Yeah,
part of why
she did.
Syndrome worked was he did grow up from that moment. It's not like it was an instantaneous thing.
And he's not still a super fan. He actually is calculating about what exactly he wants to do.
Yeah, it's a very
And-
clear goal in mind, all based off of that one day.
Whereas somebody like Electro, Barbara, and Riddler just have weird, intangible, strange goals that are all over the place, especially Barbara and Electro.
I think Riddler also counts because I have no idea what he wants. Does he want to kill Batman? Does he want to absorb the brain energy of everyone? Does he want to hypnotize everyone? I don't know. He just keeps thrusting his dick around, literally.
And he had a fungasm or whatever he called it.
Oh, right. He said that.
I feel like HiTop would see some of the cracked phone and think of a 5,000 word essay about how meaningful it is. That the person is using their phone and shows their determination.
Yeah.
His plan is actually solid.
Tricks who were displaced with helping improve his machines to trick people. Yeah.
Yeah, it's basically Mysterio in a way. Same principle.
And his technology is actually pretty good. He's pretty smart. He's a smart lad.
Yeah.
That friend, Edward starts the film shoved behind glass, peering out, longing for acceptance. He starts as Edward Nygma, and over the course of the film embraces more and more of his mania, his genius. The final set, his final set, that brilliant
That
throne room is a
outfit is
flamboyant
so
light
bad.
show, a space to be himself. It's his coming out party, and we're all invited. He needs us to see him, be blinded by his sparkling truth. We are told a story without needing to hear a word of dialogue. All these characters are repressed, held back in some way. Their civilian clothes are bland standards.
He's a
These
repressed
people are
gay
forced
man.
into a
That's his evil motivation.
The Riddler is fabulous, darling.
I think he is definitely gay for Bruce Wayne, and I definitely can see that. Riddler's coming out party. Yep.
Yeah,
That was what he said.
Here's the thing, though. I think every gay person would hate him because he has the fashion sense of a fucking... I don't even know. He fell in a dumpster and just came out with some random garments. Green and white do not go together. Please take it off.
Ignoramus.
Yeah.
Aren't we all, though?
Aren't we all gay? Or gay for Bruce specifically?
You see, I saw this joke article that was totally legit that said J.K. Rowling pictured that the reader of Harry Potter was gay, so if you've read Harry Potter, you are now gay. Congratulations.
Does this include every gender?
Yes.
You just turned gay automatically? Okay.
Here's the thing, though. I'm one of the straightest people you will ever meet in your life, and I have read Harry Potter multiple times. Is it wrong to say that Nicole Kidman's body is the best part of Batman Forever? That is definitely true. Most everything else about her is bad. Her acting is bad, her dialogue is bad, her character is bad. That's why I say Nicole Kidman's body is the best part of this movie.
That sounds weird, though.
And very sexist. How could you? I mean,
don't care.
Yeah, how dare you find women attractive? What's wrong with you?
You want a good girl, but you need a bad pussy.
Also, there's Echo.
Hey, Henry Cavill's body is the best thing in Man of Steel, okay?
Agreed, done.
A box. The punk kid, the brooding billionaire, the mad scientist, the district attorney. By day, they cannot express. They wear standard clothes meant for the standard people. But by night, they don outfits where they can shine, where they can glow, where they no longer have to hide. And that's not just cool filmmaking. That's not just empty, stylish filmmaking. That's not just gay, flamboyant filmmaking. Please let LGBTQ directors make more superhero movies. The world and the medium will be better for it. Forever is all of those things, but those...
No, they don't necessarily need to be gay, because, well, I mean, you don't have to be gay to explore themes of wanting to be your true self and having to hide that. That can be very universal.
Or even he's saying gay flamboyant filmmaking. That's what he's saying.
Well, I mean, you don't have to be gay to do that either.
Yeah. And
the person who made this wasn't gay. Is Schumacher gay?
Yeah, Joel Schumacher is gay. Or was gay. He passed away, I think, last year or the year before.
Rest in peace, you beautiful goldfish.
Yeah. But we have seen, Wheel of Time was showrun by a gay man. So it's not very interesting filmmaking, even though he wasn't really directing most of it. It was other people. Weirdly enough, including Elisa Maza was what directed a couple of the episodes from the actress who played Elisa Maza on Gargoyles.
I like that character, but the episode she directed was terrible. I don't remember which one it was, but they're all terrible. So, easy guess.
Yeah, sequel to MK's Batman. I don't remember what MK means. They need to be competent. Yeah, they need to be competent. Yeah, it's not a matter of LGBT immediately equals competent.
Well, it's the whole thing of we need more female directors. Please look at some of the latest movies made by female directors. In the MCU, they are all shit. You keep forcing terrible directors into these roles they don't know how to do fucking anything.
Wonder Woman 1984 was awful, and Wonder Woman was bad. Wrinkle in Time, directed by a female director, was bad.
Can we really blame that on director, though? There's no way that movie was being good.
That is also true, but I do find that the defense of saying that A Wrinkle in Time is meant to be a love letter to black women as honestly insulting to black women. Black women deserve better than that.
We have evidence called Jay Longbone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mahler showed it to Jane Longbone. She hated it.
Yeah.
And Fringy.
Yeah, and it's just like that movie is a weird drug trip that just happens to have black actors cast in most of the prominent roles, which is fine. It doesn't really matter. That's one of those movies where... Oh, go for it. Sorry.
Falcon and Winter Soldier also is a female director.
That one was terrible. Same with WandaVision.
Yeah. Same with Loki.
Was it? And I believe Eternals was also a female director.
I think so. Yeah. Like I said, some of the latest stuff in MCU is made by female directors, and they're all shit.
MK's Michael Keaton, I see. But yeah, it is very weird. Like
coincidence? I think not.
Definitely not.
You know what? Speaking of that, I think I might actually have that somewhere.
Oh yeah, I keep forgetting to send you clips. They would be weeb shit anyway, so I don't think you'd use them. But that's not the point. The point is I keep forgetting.
You know, I just realized the latest MCU movies is the one that's good is Spider-Man, and is the one not directed by a woman. What the fuck?
Oh, I found it.
Coincidence? I think not.
What a coincidence!
Catherine Bigelow did, and Big was directed by Kenny Moore. Yeah, it just seems as though like a lot of like female directors lately just like are kind of not really. It seems like they're just kind of hiring female directors rather than female directors asking to do certain things.
Yeah,
Other than maybe Wonder Woman, but the problem with that I think is combination of Zack Snyder and a little bit of bad writing. Wonder Woman 1984 is just stupid because I don't think that what's her face Patty Jenkins can really understands the movie that she's doing and is really bad writer.
They're trying to forcibly inflate a portion of an industry that just doesn't have the necessary talent in that demographic yet. Not enough of them that they can take over. Yeah.
And it's just like, and maybe like, and people will say like you're biased because you're all males. It's just like no, we're seeing a trend that most of these films are just bad from a writing perspective.
If a female makes a good film, I will fucking love her and hope she does more shit.
Yeah.
Oh, are we talking about misogyny now?
Yeah.
Yes. It's a daily thing with the show, don't you know?
Yeah, tell us how you hate women.
Purpose. They serve the story. They serve the characters. But what about that? What about this?
Why hasn't anybody put you in your place?
Story and characters. Let me stop having an
Joygasm!
I swear, those two lines, like, put you in your place. Are you referring to under you? Because that's what it sounds like with how you say it.
So weird talking about a man's vision when Warner Brothers dropped Tim Burton as a director because his vision was too dark. Yeah, that is also true. That is very, very true. I definitely agree with that. And yeah, the 2009 animated film is much better than this.
Which one was that one?
Yeah, I was going to ask.
It's the movie where they actually have Ares as the bad guy, and he's voiced by Alfred Molina, of all people.
Oh, that's a name.
He's a Doc Ock.
That is also a name. Anyway.
Oh yeah, I've seen
Tommy
that
Lee
one.
Jones is Two-Face. Tommy Lee Jones, TLJ, Tommy Boy, great actor, phenomenal actor. You guys ever watch No Country? Fuck me, right? But his Two-Face might be one of the worst cape shit performances, cape shit adaptations ever. I can't stand it. Every time he bounces around, every time he screams, hollers, emotes, I want to pull a Stickley and fall into a waterfall, leading me into a watery grave, because then I would finally have some peace, finally have some semblance of rest from whatever the hell this version of the character is. If you think I'm being mean, I'm not. Tommy Boy did not give a single flying neon flaming shit about this movie, and you can tell.
I agree.
Send him overnight the script. He said, I don't get it. I don't get it. Why do you want me in this picture?
No, I don't want to do it. It's a cartoon, and I'm tired, and I'm not interested.
And it's just
That was amazing. That's like Harrison Ford levels of I don't give a fuck.
Yep. Also, we have someone wanting to come in.
Yeah.
Hello there.
General Kenobi.
Hello there, guys. Sorry I'm late.
No, you're fine. We're only like
No.
16 minutes. We're only a third of the way. We're about a third of the way through.
And it's been 1.5 hours.
So how's his argument been so far?
Has he made Danny?
Yeah, he said it's a good movie because gay and style, and I like it.
Okay. So you just got done criticizing the performance of Two-Face.
Oh,
That's the only thing he's done so far. And it's like, but it's kind of hilarious that he's like Tommy Lee Jones was like, I don't want to do it. It's a cartoon, and I'm tired, and I'm not interested.
Yeah, but you gotta pay those bills.
You gotta get your yacht. It's fine.
All right, let's keep going.
Pointing, because I think he could have played a great Two-Face in a different reality. We get a taste of it during his intro.
You're counting on the winged Avenger to deliver you from evil, aren't you, my friend?
We get a sense that Tommy Lee's Two-Face might be menacing, might be filled with depth, might be the fascinating character who once supported Batman, supported Bruce, and just wanted to make his city, his home, a safer,
Blind, stupid,
But then he spends 2 hours jiggling around like he snorted 22 lines of coke, prancing around hopelessly trying to outshine and outmatch the energy and panache of Jim Carrey, which is impossible. You can't do that. You shouldn't even fucking try to do that. But he does try. He does, and he forgets to give Harvey any depth, any character, any nuance. He's playing Two-Face, Jekyll and Hyde, a good optimist.
That's
in
an
Harvey
argument
Dent, and a
for the
broken
character?
nihilist in Two-Face, but we see none of that. There's no difference between his two sides. There's no struggle. Nothing. Maybe he was directed to do that, or maybe he decided to do that. Whatever the reason may be, I can't take it. I would rather watch a compilation of Batman killing. I would rather watch Spider-Man idolize a billionaire. I would rather watch Superman.
Oh my god.
We're still talking about that.
Wait, yeah,
why-
I watched
why
videos
can't-
about that. That was so.
why
that
can't
was
you-
so stupid.
Why can't you idolize a billionaire? Because they have money? Like,
Well,
Yes.
he's not idolizing him because he's a billionaire. He's idolizing him because he's a superhero that helps.
Well, I think the
people.
billionaire part can be the case. He is rich, he is influential, and he uses that to do a lot of good. He is a self-sacrificing man.
What about the fact that Tony was the one who saved him at that Stark Expo in Iron Man 2?
Oh yeah.
The HiTop. That is the director's vision. Yeah, it's the Batman killing is Zack Snyder's vision. Who are you to deny him his vision?
Yeah.
Yeah.
MCU Spider-Man was rent-free in HiTop's head.
I still don't understand why he dislikes them. I would think since he's a Spider-Man geek, he would just
Yeah, well,
automatically
he's
like
a
it.
Sam Raimi Spider-Man stan who thinks all three movies are masterpieces, and that Spider-Man 2 is his favorite movie all time. So he's like, why are these not exactly like the Raimi movies? This is bad. Like,
As well as coming up with really bad arguments. It's like, Spider-Man should have money problems, otherwise he's not Spider-Man. It's like...
well, he does now.
Yeah, he
he
definitely does now.
Yeah, he does
But
now. And it's like...
He kind of has a crisis with that movie.
Spider-Man 2 I like, but it does not hold well. I agree with that,
I
actually.
agree.
Like, money plus 10 idealization.
You said Spider-Man 2 doesn't hold up well?
Nope.
Well, you can all go to hell.
We're already there, dude.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up.
Why do you think we're watching this video?
Have you met people?
Because it's Dunn's sad attempt to get views on something no one cares about.
Well,
inaccurate, but okay.
I actually don't think anybody really cares about this movie. I just want to watch it because it's hilarious.
Yeah, this video has been a riot.
Destroy an entire city full of innocent farmers. Jim Gordon in all these original movies is hilarious, the greatest, a true detective.
Yep, definitely suicide.
And I love
Commissioner. Okay, that's kind of funny. I'll give it.
It's kind of funny how deliberately stupid they write Jim Gordon.
Yeah.
I love that Joel just knew how much of a joke Gordon was in the Burden films and just amped up that running gag. This poor man stumbles around waiting for Batman, waiting for someone to save the city, waiting for his Dark Knight and shining armor to save the city. Without bats, this take on Gordon would be nothing, and the film plays that up so hard. If Tommy Lee Jones doesn't get it, doesn't get the material or how to elevate that material, then Nicole Kidman is the cast member that understands exactly what Joel was going for.
It's not going to be believable. I mean, she's a psychologist. You just don't dress like this as a psychologist. Joel says, Nicole, this is a comic book. We throw logic out the window.
No! Well, that makes so much sense.
I'm like, okay.
It makes sense. Oh, it makes sense why HiTop likes Wonder Woman 84. He listens to Joel Schumacher.
Throw logic out a window.
That explains a lot.
It's like, and like Nicole Kidman is arguing, don't psychologists do not dress like this. Please, and she's being the voice of reason.
Not to mention, psychologists aren't that stupid either. Basically, if Bruce Wayne had said the things that he says to this psychologist in real life, she would have been like, "Oh, so you're Batman," and then they would have gone from there.
Yeah, Batman would never see a psychologist. He would let out way too much stuff about his secret identity.
Well, the last time he visited a psychologist, it was fucking Hugo Strange. I think he wouldn't do that anymore.
Hey, this is how should have been the Batman. Hey, would you like to know my secret identity?
Oh, that huge gag.
Hey, check my kryptonite. Would you like to know my secret identity?
I want a car. Chicks dig the car.
This is why Superman works alone.
Yeah.
It's so quotable, but it's so bad.
Oh, it's retarded.
Dr. Chase Meridian, Mediterranean, Nicole Kidman is hilarious when she needs to be. She's unbelievably horny for Batman. She's a psychiatrist who wants to her most interesting study. It's absurd. It's almost a parody of the superhero love interest. Joel Schumacher was not a dude who would create this two-dimensional damsel in distress, a woman who would do literally anything, including hijacking the bat signal on top of the fucking police station to get under our hero's
And lingerie.
cape, unless that was the point, unless that was the joke.
Oh, we could.
Look,
the joke.
He says what we would. He says what we would say, but in defense of this film.
Yeah, I mean. Yeah, I think it's also kind of played a little too straight to really be a parody.
Oh, it's not a parody. It's quite clearly not.
Yeah.
She's in lingerie on a rooftop.
How did she get through the police?
Yeah, that's what.
We
I
already
asked.
explained this. She showed the lingerie to the other police officers, every single one, and they all let her through.
Yeah, they saw her in lingerie, and they were too distracted by her tits to do anything about her.
Not inaccurate.
Give it a try. I'll bring the wine. You bring your scarred psyche.
And she finds a way to play that joke and play the moments of drama with a little bit of vulnerability, with elegance. Speaking of elegance, I think the best way to describe
You are
Jim
no
Carrey's
longer
Riddler
allowed
is
to
by
use that
playing-
word.
Yeah,
Not
elegance is
after
just a
you used it for
buzzword.
that. You use that word for the literal least elegant line in the movie. You do not deserve to use it. ...
HiTop, are your standards a black hole? Let's go with the answer to that is yes.
Yeah, HiTop has no
words.
standards. Wow.
Yeah. I think this. I think that that it merits this.
You are correct, sir.
It turned from a
Speaking
wave
of-
into a black hole. Truly incredible.
Oh wait, oh here
Elegance,
we go.
I think the best way to describe Jim Carrey's Riddler is by playing Elliot Goldenthal's theme for him.
This is elegant.
I swear there's a 3-scene stretch in the middle of Batman Forever that makes me feel like I'm on a psychedelic drug that I've never taken.
Oh my god. Oh god, this scene. That scene's so bad.
He's drawing it out by doing kung fu moves. That is so stupid.
Yeah. Man, this movie's dumb.
I feel
really sucks.
I feel like when he uses clips from this movie, he just makes his argument that much harder on himself.
Yeah.
Like it can't show the movie.
Yeah, context is the enemy of this movie.
One thing though, I think maybe we'll see a little bit later, like Drew Barrymore. I'm just amazed that somehow this guy.
I'm being creative. Now, if you'll excuse me, I still have some work to do. Daddy, would you like some sausage? Daddy, would you like some sausages? Daddy, would you like some sausage? Sausages, sausages.
And that
Drew
girl from this
Barrymore.
movie married that guy. You said.
Yep.
I now know what you refer to when you say the sausage scene. Dear God.
But yeah, Drew Barrymore, the girl with the white hair in this movie.
Yeah, the hot one.
Yeah, she married that guy. And then they got divorced when he ran out of the drug that he was feeding her.
Yeah, that smart on her to leave him.
Man,
a drug called Joel Schumacher.
Does anybody else feel like a fried egg?
But seriously, even though so many cape flicks and filmmakers took inspiration from Carrey's
and those
deranged,
are all
insane...
terrible. All those examples are terrible.
Oh yeah, I forgot about freaking Iron Man 3 with Aldrich Killian. That sucked.
that made no sense.
That was
It's like the
bad.
poor man's version of Syndrome. The poor man's version of Syndrome.
He's battling in hopes of scaring the water away, but instead it cringes so hard it evaporates.
Yeah, all those examples he showed: Electro Spider-Man 2, Cheetah from Wonder Woman 84, and Killian from Iron Man 3. Those are all terrible.
Yeah, they're all bad. Iron Man 3 was meh. Worst subversion of a villain I've seen since TLJ. Yeah, it was. Yeah, that was pretty bad. And yet, confused Matthew thought it was amazing.
Yeah, no wonder he liked Last Jedi.
Yep.
And zany take on Edward Nygma, I still don't think people give this performance or this character the respect it deserves.
Because
he doesn't deserve any.
Exactly. We had the same thought.
Well,
Now-
well, this facial expression is creepy.
That is pretty creepy.
I will say this though, the freaking performance is fun. I can't say I don't enjoy it. It's not the Riddler though.
Yeah. The Riddler's actually a little bit more kind of calm and collected.
Oh, he's very calm and collected.
He's kind of like this in Gotham, but that's
Oh no, he definitely is.
But Jim Carrey was in Gotham.
No, but the performance they give to Riddler is kind of.
Oh, okay, I've never seen that show.
He's not over. He's more just like, I guess the best way to describe it is neurodivergent eclectic. Is how I would describe the Riddler in that.
Okay, I've never seen the show, so I don't know about it.
I can't. I don't know if I'd say watch it or not because it is a very polarizing show.
Like, I know some Batman fans hate it, like really diehard Batman fans.
There's a good reason.
Huh. Catwoman starts off simping for Bruce and becomes a villain in Gotham?
I think he's talking about Batman Returns. She didn't really. So
she was kind of just like a
she was
mousy
just an awkward
lady.
secretary.
Yeah.
Like
But-
I wouldn't say she was sucking up for him or anything like that.
Yeah.
There's only one scene they have with each other before she turns into Catwoman.
Yeah.
Carrie is going to the moon, soaring past our sun and into a different galaxy for sure. But that isn't just him improving. That's not just him doing the 90s Jim Carrey shtick.
It's one of the greatest thrills of my life working with Jim Carrey. He is one of the most talented, most dedicated, most focused, most professional people in the world. His genius is, it looks like we turn the camera on and he just does it. It's very, very rehearsed. It's very disciplined. It takes hours and hours of practice. I admire him very much as a person, and he's a great talent.
And even if Joel...
Well, that's the thing. Jim Carrey does some odd things when he gets into method. Like, there's kind of rumors that him and Val Kilmer didn't get along. And Kilmer denied it, but he denied it with the enthusiasm of Bill Clinton saying he did not have sexual relations with that woman.
Yeah. Well, that's what Tarek said at one time. He denied having sexual allegations with an Autobot.
Yeah. Also, this is probably another off topic, and also is maybe some sort of phobe or ister or whatever, but I can definitely hear that Joel Schumacher is very, very gay.
Yeah.
No, he. It's well known that he is very, very homosexual.
Yeah, and I can hear it when he talks. Like he's got his accent. I would describe it as gay.
He has the lisp.
Yeah, kind of like his cadence is very common to gay men. It's very common throughout that particular group of people.
Okay. Let's keep watching.
Yeah.
Or the studio decided to use the most outrageous and energy-filled takes, there is always an undertone of creepiness, of obsession and trauma to Jim Carrey's Edward Nygma. And I feel
I don't agree.
Yeah, there's no trauma.
He's just a neurotic weirdo who clearly does not understand how other human beings work.
Yeah.
I love it how until the 2000s we didn't have a word for this, and then everything just became autism.
Yeah, true.
that everyone who copies Carrie copies this version of the Riddler never really understood the beauty of this character. Never really
beauty.
The beauty of this character. What? Okay, okay.
I beg your pardon?
That made no sense.
Beauty of the Riddler.
Guys, make sure
yeah,
I never become a video essayist like him. Just be sure to.
Please don't. Please don't. Just.
Okay. Let me make one thing perfectly clear. This is not jumping the shark. I'm going to repeat that again. This is not jumping the shark. Oh, no. This is jumping the shark, coming back, shooting it in the balls, raping it, eating its flesh, consuming its soul, mounting its head on the wall, and then doing the same thing to 12 more fucking.
Do sharks have testicles?
Probably.
Yes, I think.
Yes, that was a very affirmative yes, like you've looked.
Yeah,
I then said I
beauty
think.
of the Riddler. I'm just like, most of these characters are pretty much indistinguishable other than power sets.
Yeah. Pretty much all of Joel Schumacher's villains are pretty much interchangeable.
Except for Arnie.
I have checked. They indeed do have testicles.
Yeah, see, Google knows.
Well, this is a
Don't
very
ask how.
educational stream. Very
It is
educational.
Understood the idea that this unseen, unwanted, eccentric, self-hating genius loner is obsessed with someone who doesn't exist. Edward so desperately wants to become someone who is not real, who is a false persona.
Mr. Oh, Bruce Wayne.
No, that's my name.
Edward's invention was originally about escapism. Its original purpose was to provide people with relief, provide himself relief from the uncaring world. That is not malicious in its intent, and neither is his idolization.
He's going to do human trials.
Yeah.
I feel like Riddler saw the tinfoil hat and it's like, no, I need that weird crushed ice cone on my head. That will protect me.
No, well, of course. Haven't you ever worn a weird shaped ice cone thingy?
Or maybe, just maybe, HiTop, they all suck. They are horribly written. But hey, aspiring filmmakers, folks, is surely the expert.
Yeah.
Cinema's
Have you
screwed.
seen his fan-made trailer for Jason?
I have not. I don't. From what I've seen of his videos, HiTop Films sucks as a filmmaker.
Well, he already sucks as a film critic, so I can't imagine he'd be any better as a critic. Or he sucks as a film critic, so I can't imagine he'd be any better as a filmmaker.
Yeah, that's ironically would have worked as a Mad Hatter. That's actually not a bad idea, but the Riddler is more marketable. So, let's keep going.
Of Bruce Wayne. Bruce Wayne, who on the surface overcame his tragedy and trauma to become this smart, sexy, stoic, masculine man. A man who seemingly beat the feelings of shame, of isolation that Edward is stuck with. It makes perfect sense that this hidden, repressed enigma, this misunderstood, self-aggrandizing genius would idolize, would dream about the approval of that billionaire boy. And in his fame, Edward pretends to be that billionaire boy, be Bruce Wayne, becoming his literal mirror image. But the tragedy is that Bruce, his idea of Bruce, is a fantasy. The man Edward so fiercely longs for is a creation. Both Batman and Edward want to be Bruce Wayne, want to be defined by something other than their trauma, their doubt, their nightmares. But both are stuck.
Hold up.
To
Did they ever establish that Bruce Wayne doesn't want to be Bruce Wayne? He doesn't want to be Batman. He just wants to be Bruce Wayne.
No.
This is called reaching. This is called grasping for straws. Grasping for straws.
There's elements of, and now it's not a matter of I am Batman because I have to be. I'm Batman because I choose to be. At the end, which is not set up at all.
Is HiTop the one who did the RoboCop video?
No.
That was Maggie.
Maggie, who to this day Neff hates. And also it broke Shiny. Shiny broke really hardcore at the Maggie Mayfish Obi-Wan cucked Anakin video.
That one I couldn't believe I was hearing.
Everything in that video is bad.
I need to watch more Maggie Mayfish.
This one is, I think it's on Screamat. Just look up a better way to watch the Star Wars prequels.
If you imagine that the entire time Obi-Wan and Padme are fucking in the background.
Question.
We need a sex scene between Poe and Finn sequel trilogy.
Aspiring, you had a question?
Yeah.
Has HiTop come out?
I think it's just safe to say that most of these people are just kind of identify as pan.
Because Jesus Christ, he's called literally every character in this entire thing sexy for some fucking reason, including the Riddler.
Yeah, I guess he might be.
I don't know. It could just be.
I know for sure that Just Right is bi. That's a fact. He said that in public. He said that on his Mulan video.
Yeah, that joke that I made.
Yeah, but I think with HiTop calling all these people sexy, I think that's just some sort of trying to be quirky.
He's trying to be the Riddler. Oh God.
Yeah,
There's
just
also kind
describe
of like,
everything as sexy, and it's quirky.
well, kind of like guys like Alex Shaw says that everybody's sexy, and he's come out as bi. So,
Well, he's called every character sexy except Batman, which he just called sex.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The terms with their identity manages to make a choice and the other cracks because of this.
Why can't I kill you?
So sexy,
Why can't
right?
I
HiTop?
be you? Why can't I be as loved as you? Why can't I be as good as you, as understood as you? Why can't you understand? Why aren't you as outwardly broken as me? Edward cracks at the
he didn't
realization
say
that his
that.
idol. Why can't you understand? Why aren't you as outwardly broken as me? Edward.
Yep. That
They're
lady right
reaching.
there married Daddy, would you like some sausages? Somehow he got her to marry him.
Wow.
Yeah, but what's the whole point that HiTop's been making? Like, the Riddler said, "Why can't I kill you?" He didn't say, "Why can't I be you?" It's, "Why can't I kill you?"
Yeah. HiTop, dude, go back to film school.
We clearly just didn't see the deleted scenes that came out after this. God.
Oh, just wait. He's going to come up with a really bad deleted scene that is very good thing that was not put in the movie because it would have looked bad.
Oh, God.
Cracks at the realization that his idol, his obsession, his love is a facade, and that the true man, the true Bruce Wayne, has spent his life defined by horrors that are beyond Edward's wildest dreams. Causing Edward to lose all sense of self, to be shoved
I
back
didn't
into
get
the
that part.
box, the display
I
case
didn't either.
that he came from.
It's like it's kind of like someone would have his scarecrow given his own fear toxin.
Now, is all this played? Is this shown to us as dramatically and as deep as I just explained it? No, not at all. You can watch Batman Forever and just have a black.
Thank you.
Some man just admitted he's a fraud.
Yeah. What
Why
HiTop
for the
is
past
doing,
20 minutes?
What
Why
HiTop is
did I
doing
waste
is. Oh, go first. Sorry, I apologize.
It was just like, what was the past 20 minutes? Like, 20 minutes of this video, which is 2 hours for me. What was the fucking point if you were just gonna say, no, not at all? What the fuck?
Then why bring it up? That's a good point.
Wow.
Last watching Jim Carrey do his thing, exert his entire being into every line delivery, every movement. But I truly think that if we choose to look at his Edward Enigma from this lens, this view, we can see what was going on behind the screams, behind the innuendo, the comedy, the cries. We can see the broken soul, the hidden tragedy of his Riddler.
No.
And on the other hand, the polar opposite glove, we have Val Kilmer playing the hidden tragedy, not exaggerating or amping up any of the material, but playing a deeply damaged and conflicted Bruce Wayne. Now, I've always thought Kilmer's take on Bruce was extremely underrated. As a kid, he was my favorite on-screen Batman. And even now, I find myself being drawn towards his performance. He's
going to go into this in a minute, but Val Kilmer seems like he doesn't care about this movie.
Oh, not at all.
Yeah, it's either him or George Clooney for like the most boring Batman and Bruce Wayne.
Bored with Batman. Like George Clooney has actively on camera taken pot shots at Batman and Robin. Like his non-disparagement clause went away a long time ago, and he's just pot-shotting at it, and it's actually really entertaining.
Yeah.
Yeah, when he did, Val Kilmer, in one of his interviews, comes off like he is either stoned or high because he's just mumbling and just giving non-responses. It's just so great that we're something so important. It's wonderful, and it's just like, oh my gosh, are you high right now?
All right, guys, I've had all I can stands, and I can't stands no more. Not only that, but I got to get to work in the morning.
Yeah,
Alrighty, see you later.
glad I showed up when I did, so I could take your place.
Oh, no one can take my fucking place. Don't be getting a big head now.
Well, hey, I'm Batman.
Yeah, this is exactly what Mahler preached about. These subjective lenses aren't as well defined, whereas objective critique is clear cut. Yeah, when you analyze plot analysis is a lot easier than just especially when you're kind of just these are my feelings about this movie. It's just ugh. Then we get you try to defend using your feelings. It's kind of frustrating.
You know, it's even funnier when I watch what's happening on the screen. I know this is shit. It's amazing.
Yeah.
All right, I'm out. See you guys.
See you. Yeah, Terry.
Wouldn't. They say he sleepwalks through the role, that he seems bored, and because of that, this Batman is utterly forgettable. But I never felt that.
Well, here's the thing about that one is, in regards to all those statements about him sleepwalking, being forgettable, and clearly not giving a crap.
You are correct, sir.
But he's now going to say that that's not true.
Oh my god. I see his
I
argument.
felt Val Kilmer was making a choice. I felt that he believes Bruce Wayne to be a deeply stoic, a deeply damaged character who has trouble emoting, who in a way pretends to emote, pretends to feel with those he cannot share his true self with.
It's kind of challenging.
None of that's in the movie.
Yeah, not even obviously, there's been actors do this way better, such as Christian Bale. He managed to make it seem more convincing that when he was Bruce Wayne, he was this upbeat, stoic billionaire.
Michael Keaton did this better.
Yep.
I left
also,
for
the
1 minute
Batman
to
the
get-
Animated Series did this very well.
Aspiring, you were saying?
I left to get something for a minute. Where did Tara go? Did he abandon us?
Yes, he did.
Yes. Yeah, he had to go.
Shit.
Yeah. And I probably should be getting out soon too, because I am starving, Marvin.
Alrighty. We can resume this another time. We've been going for 2 hours. And we're
but we haven't,
literally at the
but we haven't gotten anywhere.
Yeah. Let's do it to 30 minutes and then we'll call it a night. How about that?
Okay, I can stick around for
to
that.
be
Then.
involved and appropriately involved in the depths of the truth of the character, the myth, and not be so far in it that you're out of the style.
Bruce Wayne is.
I'm sorry, what?
I did not get that. I did not get
Okay,
that.
let's okay.
It's kind of challenging playing the role to be involved and appropriately involved in the depths of the truth of the character, the myth, and not be so far in it that you're out of the style.
Bruce Wayne
Yeah,
is.
listen, did you hear the way how
What?
I can't hear. We can't hear you, Skids. I think you cut out.
Yeah. Well. Anyway. The actor dude, he made that up on the spot.
Okay, I was just about to say that if you listen to how Val Kilmer delivered that, you could tell he just sounds bored.
Yeah, he's stuttering all over the place. He doesn't care. He's mostly saying nonsense.
Yeah, it just sounds like that was something he came up with off the top of his head. I can say that. Yes. I'll say that. That is what I'll do.
Mm-hmm.
Is someone who was raised by a formal butler in a massive mansion, a kid who had zero friends, who still has barely, if any, genuine human interaction outside that butler, outside his second father. This is a Batman who clearly spends most of his days and most of his life training, thinking, brooding in isolation, in solitude. He's filled with regret, he's filled with guilt, and he is in no way equipped. He in no way knows how to overcome it. And Kilmer plays all of that. He doesn't
Guilt
use
over
many
what?
contractions, slang, or speak in any way that we would consider to be natural.
Abnormal psychology, multiple personalities. I read your work. Insightful. Naive, but insightful.
This is a Bruce that sounds...
That was bad.
Guilt over what? What does Bruce have to be guilty about?
His parents are dead.
That's not
thinks that-
guilt. That's
I think
guilt
he-
is something you did.
He feels like by going to by telling his parents to go to the movies, that when they wanted to stay in was the reason why they died, and that's why he feels guilt. It's very
Did he tell
poorly
them to
handled
go?
or conveyed. It's in the diary. Maybe it's just a like deleted scene, but let's keep going.
It's like he stepped out of Alfred's homeschooling for creepy, disgustingly rich, traumatized youth. He doesn't talk or move or feel like a comfortable, ordinary human being because he's not. He's the smartest man on earth. He's one of the richest men, and he is so detached from reality, our reality and the reality of his own world. Keaton brought his humor, his humanity, but Val purposely hides the human. And that's a bold move that resulted in a polarizing performance, a performance that does sometimes make it feel like he's in a different movie than everyone else.
Now you've devised a way to read men's minds.
But that also works for me. It's almost as if the camp...
Oh, it works for me, therefore it's fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah. He has. Yeah, he lets down Harvey Dent in the Batman the Animated Series. Yeah, that's a good point.
Camp explosion of color, the exuberant and over-the-top performances hide the real pain of these villains. And that pain is shown to us through Bruce, through Kilmer's cold, stilted, and detached Batman.
With this, I just feel like you are reaching massively. I just feel like Kilmer was sleepwalking. I've seen Val Kilmer do a good performance in Willow. That's an actual good Val Kilmer performance. He clearly doesn't care about this one. Even through interviews, he's clearly either making BS up or he's drunk, or both.
Yeah,
Or
I know
both.
Michael Keaton left the project because he read the script and said that it sucked.
Yeah.
Detached, less human sounding Batman who acts far more human and heroic than Burton's Batman ever was. Joel's Batman does not stick bombs onto random goons or hit Catwomen off rooftops or fire 50 caliber machine guns at the Joker. Instead, he's always trying to save the innocent.
No,
You
he's
also have
not.
to realize, right, that Batman Forever was the first live-action Batman film to even attempt to give Bruce Wayne an arc. Bruce's character.
Fuck you. You can say a lot of shit, but saying the previous movie didn't attempt to give an arc is that's a bit far of a claim.
And also to say that this film has an arc is insulting to arc.
Not to mention, what's wrong with him hitting Catwoman when she stabbed him with her claw?
Yeah. I guess it's the fact that you hit her off a building. No, it's the Burton films exist. They just didn't have arcs.
Hey, I can defend that. Clearly, he thinks she has cat powers and would survive a fall from space. That's believable considering everything. You just saw a penguin using a helicopter umbrella.
Mm-hmm.
Any other thoughts on this before we move on?
Yeah, he just made all that shit up.
Move on.
And returns in '89 are saved by Michael Keaton and the element of tragic mystery that defined Burton's Wayne. But we never knew why that Bruce was Batman. His parents were killed. He was left alone in that alley. But why did he decide to dedicate the rest of his life to punishing the guilty? Why did he decide to dress up like a bat? Back in 1992, if you didn't read comics, if you didn't watch the animated series...
Okay. I think we understand why.
Sure doesn't happen to anyone else.
Yeah. I guess maybe like why he specifically chose a bat. But
nobody understands that, mate.
Series, you would have no fucking idea why. You would just have to roll with it, be consumed by the gothic Burton visuals, by the villains, and by Keaton's performance. But Joel tried, he really did, to give us and Bruce an explanation, to have Bruce go on a journey of examining himself. He wanted to explore not just the death of the Waynes, but the motivation and reasoning behind why this boy became the Bat, why he crafted and eventually became consumed by this creature of the night.
Long ago, when this whole thing started, Batman Year One, the Frank Miller comic, was always my favorite. And I was always hoping that I would do that one. There was no desire to do that the first time around, and there was definitely no desire to do that the second time around.
Joel wanted to...
So here is a weird thing. Joel Schumacher has said some weirdly conflicting things about about his experience with comics. Since Batman Year One, he said in relation to Batman and Robin is, I had never known Batman without Robin, but he says that Batman Year One is one of his favorite comics and that he wanted to do it. It's a weird contradiction that makes me kind of feel like either it was probably fed to him by the studio, because I don't peg Joel as a liar. And especially when he says two very, very wildly conflicting things. Any thoughts? It's maybe because Batman Year One is literally Batman's first year as Batman. It doesn't have Robin in it. Yeah, it's very weird. I don't get why he would say that. And he said that on camera. There are two clips. Like, if you put the clips side by side, it's just like, wait, one of these things is not like the other. Strange.
To explore what that kind of trauma does to someone. He wanted his Batman to finally face that trauma, something we hadn't seen on film before. He wanted Bruce to have an identity crisis.
I wanted to add mythic qualities to our story of Batman. There was a struggle for Bruce Wayne to find his identity insofar as why he ever became Batman. He has a choice as a man now whether to continue to be Batman or not.
And this is clear even in the theatrical cut.
If Bruce Wayne could have given his life for your family, he would have.
It's very clear that Batman Forever is about extraordinary people who are defined by duality, defined by their internal struggle for a sense of true self. A struggle that's caused by deep-rooted trauma. And the best elements of the theatrical cut explore these ideas while never being overly grim. And I say theatrical cut because...
Who am I, Alfred? I don't know anymore.
The unseen story and characters. I'm not here to tell you that there's a version of Batman Forever that takes out all the lovely camp. I'm not here to tell you that somewhere in a WB vault sits a 3-hour dark, brooding masterwork full of nuance and subtlety. I'm not even here to tell you that Joel hated the final cut of his film. He didn't. He loved making Batman Forever. There's no doubt. It's a commercial film.
Kellogg's cornflakes.
But it's a Schumacher spectacle pop opera commercial. Forever isn't Batman and
I
Robin.
still don't
There's
know
no
what a
major
pop opera
behind-the-scenes
is.
drama,
You have not defined that term clearly.
Creative differences.
Not to
But there
mention,
is
he
a secret
criticized
that
the
a
Tim
few
Burton
diehard
movie for advertising itself. Like, that's generally one of his complaints about it.
Yeah. Maybe he's referring to The Long Halloween, which is Batman Year 2. Well, it's kind of specifically, he said Batman Year 1 was my favorite comic. And he said, I've never known Batman without Robin, which is like, that's a blatant lie. Sorry. Don't try not to do that. Yeah.
Fans of the movie have known about for years. I'm here to tell you that somewhere, supposedly, in that WB vault, next to the Snyder Cut, sits the Schumacher Cut, a 45-minute longer film that focuses more...
Oh, 45 minutes more of that movie. Oh.
God.
I think we can all agree that it's good. I'd watch it. I wouldn't pay to watch it. But I'd watch it with friends. But it seemed like it would probably be bad.
More on Bruce Wayne. That gives us slower, less kid-friendly scenes. That doesn't grind out the main meat of the movie in service of being briefer, quicker, and goofier.
As I say, things were cut out for time and to move the story along. Most movies have that concern. You want to keep the motor going in a movie, and sometimes some of your favorite scenes are cut out.
And that movie, that Schumacher cut, isn't just a giant popcorn tub filled with greasy, buttered bat nipples and salty sexiness. It isn't just the best movie for 4-year-old boys. It isn't just a homoerotic explosion of color, creativity, and originality. But it is the Batman Forever that kind of serves as a great sequel to the Burton flicks. It is the Batman Forever that stands on its own to become something wholly...
Why is that song playing in the back?
Because it's a pop opera.
Oh my gosh.
original. It truly is the first live-action Batman movie that attempted to go deep, swim, not just in the shallow end, but into the mind of Bruce Wayne.
And it did so well, didn't it?
Yeah.
Indeed.
Are you actually this stupid?
Oh man, how you guys feeling? Shall we just kind of like let it play for a few minutes?
I think this might be a good stopping point. I mean, there's only.
Yeah.
I think this is a good stopping point.
Alrighty.
I'd honestly like to show you guys a palette cleanser if you want. A very short
let's do
one.
The palette cleanser.
What's that?
Send it to me.
Does anyone know what I refer to when I say Eggman's announcement?
Nope.
Good.
Okay. Shoot.
I'm putting it in Streamteam Assemble.
Alrighty.
I was shown this by a friend. It's from the people who do fan dubs. They have some funny stuff.
Huh.
Yeah, haven't you seen like Sword Art Online abridged?
Not what I'm referring to. You'll see. This is a
Alrighty.
specific video where they isolated the audio.
I've seen a few of these videos.
1 year and over 2 million. Yeah, your silly concept of pilot into something far beyond our reach.
Ignore this.
Okay.
It's just the YouTuber who made the edits just decided to do this.
I come to make an announcement. Shadow the Hedgehog's a bitch-ass motherfucker. He pissed on my fucking wife. That's right. He took his hedgehog fucking quilly dick out and he pissed on my fucking wife and he said his dick was this big. And I said, that's disgusting. So I'm making a call-out post on my twitter.com. Shadow the Hedgehog, you got a small dick. It's the size of this walnut except way smaller. And guess what? Here's what my dong looks like. That's right, baby. All points, no quills, no pillows. Look at that. It looks like 2 balls in a bong. He fucked my wife, so guess what? I'm gonna fuck the earth. That's right. This is what you get. My super laser piss. Except I'm not gonna piss on the earth. I'm gonna go higher. I'm pissing on the moon. How do you like that, Obama? I pissed on the moon, you idiot! You have 23 hours before the piss droplets hit the fucking earth. Now get out of my fucking sight before I piss on you two.
Wow.
That was all done on the spot.
Oh my god. That's funny.
It really is. And this is without context. There's context.
Context is one of the 7 deadly sins. It must be ignored at all costs.
You say that. But that I've seen like the edited version of the entire video. It's hilarious.
Yeah. Now we just need to figure out when we're going to do Batman Era 1 review. Probably next Monday. I'm not sure. Yeah, let's do that.
Batman Year 1?
Batman Era 1 in reference
Era
to
1.
Schumacher. Before we watch Batman Begins as the Nolan era. And then we'll start with the Snyder era before we get to...
why?
No.
We don't need to.
We're going to need to in order for me to make my reviews on it.
We'll be needing to watch Batman v Superman and Justice League. No.
Just Batman v Superman. Don't worry.
Okay.
He's barely in Justice League.
Well, I'm going to need to ask you guys to watch the Snyder Cut with me because I haven't seen it yet.
The what?
Snyder Cut.
The Snyder Cut.
I haven't. I watched it, but I didn't record it. I'd be willing to watch it, but depending on how long you have. Do you want to watch all 4 hours in one sitting?
No, I'll stream it. We can watch the first 2 hours one day and watch the second half the other day.
I'll say
Jeremy
this.
John's favorite movie of that year.
I'll say this. I watched it with a bunch of friends on the server, and I actually fell asleep at some point and woke up in the middle of the huge battle scene. I was like, what the fuck? This is still going on?
The Snyder Cut, yeah, I got a bit of a headache from Snyder Cut as well. I was just like, this is so long. Quit it.
It was so bad.
Yeah. Well, we will call it good for today. Thank you all for coming.
See ya,
Adios.
boys. Bye.